You've got, Ash is out, big Braden Pruce is out, Tim Taranto is out, Lockie Whitfield is out. And then obviously Lockie Keefe has been omitted and a few of the young guys have been left out. Hamilton, Callaghan, he's out injured. Stone's out injured as well. So we're going to see a debutant today for, of course, the Giants in Jacob Ware, who's a mature age, just come across, played some good footy over at Woodville West Torrens, got noticed in the Sandful there. He's been on the list for about a year. Gets his opportunity wearing the number 10 Guernsey today. So another new one for the Giants.
Well, they'll never get a better opportunity, the West Coast, to get themselves in a position to win a game than they will today. Then with the amount of players that the Giants have got out, this is a perfect opportunity for the West Coast who, again, as I keep saying, they're a great paper team. On paper, they look all right. So if they can get their act together, they might be in this game for a long way today.
Well, Gaff and Shuey back is pretty significant.
They're huge inclusions. I mean, they're both, your captain and your hardest runner. Yep. Are both back in the team. So that's what they need. And do they need to get something having to kick their season up, get it into gear at least, because it's been a shocker for them so far.
No doubt. Mark McVeigh, it made me reflect, Pickers, because I've been doing footy here a long time now. The years go pretty quickly. And Spike spent, I reckon a couple of years with us.
Yeah, he did.
Doing the footy, travelled to many games. We did a couple of the New Zealand games together, and he had coaching ambitions back then. And you could see the footy brain, you could see just the deep analysis and what was going through his mind. It's always great when you're in my chair to sit next to those guys who have just come out of the game, they've got coaching aspirations. Just the way they see the game, and I thought he spoke, beautifully this week. Obviously, he's had a great relationship with Leon Cameron. The club really stuck by him when the whole Essendon saga went down and he couldn't coach there for, about 12 months. Yep. They stood by him, and he's really been Leon's right-hand man there for a couple of years, and he gets his opportunity.
And he gets a good run rate at it too. I mean, it's 13 games, so he gets a really good chance to, whether it's at the Giants next year or not, it's probably unlikely that he'll take over the Giants role, but what he does, he will get the opportunity to do is show the rest of the other 17 teams that, I've got some ability in the coach's box, and at least put him on the radar when another job does come up if he doesn't get looked at for this job.
And he brings in Dean Solomon, which
is good. Yeah, I'm glad he does. I'm glad he's done that, BP, because Dean Solomon is a good footy person. I know he's highly rated at the Giants. I'm not sure at the Suns. I'm not sure what really happened there. I know COVID had a bit to do with it, but good footy person to be brought back into the fold.
Yeah, and was in that caretaker role for a handful of games. And then James Hird sort of coming back into the more hands-on. He's been in that mentoring role at the Giants, but hasn't really got involved in the sort of day-to-day, week-to-week coaching side, and he brings his intellect. So it's a new look, and we'll see if it energises the Giants.
Yeah, let's hope so, because they've been underwhelming this year, haven't they, the Giants, really? I mean, we've seen them play the odd really good game. Look, I think it was Adelaide they went across and gave it a real touch-up too, but then we've seen them pretty insipid. And I thought they were poor last week too, by the way. I thought they'd come out and show a bit more than they did against Carlton, but not to be the case, and unfortunately it sort of sums up where they're at the moment.
Now, it made me think of the caretaker coaches, and I love going back. We unleashed the Geesh back in 1997.
We did, I remember that.
Won 4 or 5, taking over from Robert Walls, of course, when Richmond got the absolute toweling up over in Adelaide. Grant Thomas came in for Malcolm Blight. He went 1 of 7, got the gig the next year. Ratton took over from Pagan when they were a basket case at that stage, Carlton. So Rats went 0 and 6 and got the gig the next year. Neil Craig replaced Gary Ayres. He went 4 and 5. He got the gig the next year. Paul Roos came in to replace Rodney Eade. He went 6 and 4 back in 2003. Poor old Brett Scott. Now, I was just double-checking this today because you had left the Kangaroos to go to the Cats in 1993.
Yep.
So Gary Buckenara got sacked as coach, I think, about 4 rounds into that year. And Brett Scott, who was a centreman who had a lot of injuries across his career.
Left footer, wasn't he?
Left footer.
Yeah.
He came in for 2 games.
Yeah, right.
So at the end of Buckenara's tenure, they'd already signalled their intentions that they were going to get Ron Barassi. And Barassi's in the stands. But Brett Scott filled in. Now, I was at this game at Princess Park. They lost to Fitzroy by 93 points. Then they lost to North the week after by 124 points. And he was the last coach who was also working full-time. So he's working till about 4 o'clock. He was a warehouse manager and then off to training and trying to actually coach the team. We've come a long way since then.
We have. I can go all the way back to, I remember when Paul Feltham took over at the Brisbane Bears back in the day.
He had a great impact. I think he won 5 of 7.
5 of 6 or 7, at the back end of that year. And he was, and then wasn't even entertained for that role.
I think they went Norm Dare.
Normie Dare might have got the job,
He might be right. It would have been the year before Robert Walls took over.
Wallsy took over, yeah, that's right. Normie Dare, one of the great footy people. He was involved in the Bears for a long time.
We love the caretaker coach. So, yeah, Spock's
obviously David Teague did it too.
Oh,
David
correct. There's more. I've gone way back here. Yeah, there's more.
I like the older ones too, because we've seen what's happened in recent times.
But poor old Brett Scott, he was on hiding to nothing. And the other one I have to bring up, I've got to get a Fitzroy mention in early, but poor old Alan McConnell. He was on a hiding to nothing. So he took over twice when Bernie got sacked round 20 of 1995 when Plugger kicked 16 out at the Whitten Oval. McConnell took over for 2 games, and then they appointed Mick Noonan the year after. Yes. And Mick saw the writing on the wall of the club and decided just to get out. And he went 0-11, poor old Alan McConnell, when Fitzroy were at...
well, that must have been 95,
96.
Yeah, 96, yeah. So, yeah, your old mob, the Fitzroy Footy Club, we talk about them quite a bit, you and I, when we get together, because I used to love watching Fitzroy. Well, I love watching them, and I enjoyed playing against them, of course, because we were a pretty good team. But I did enjoy back in the 80s when they had all those great players, Scotty Clayton and all these sort of Mickey Conlon and Bernie Quinlan and Gary Wilson. What a player.
Stop it. Dribbling at the moment. Yeah, the wind had gone out of the sails by 95, 96, so poor old Alan McConnell went 0-11, but had a great career in footy after that. Had nearly a decade at the Cats, then
he was great.
Long stint at the Giants, obviously, part of their men's team and coaching the women's team the last couple of years.
Let's not forget that the pre-season time trial is named the Alan McConnell Cup. Hutchie and I laugh about it quite a lot. The winner of the time trial gets the Alan McConnell Cup, so I think they could have found a better way to honour Alan than that.
Squeaky, we used to call him. Squeaky McConnell.
Yeah, great bloke. Alan McConnell, fantastic footy person.
I'm trying to think of one other that comes to mind with the caretaker role. Anyway.
There's been plenty over the years. Jade Rawlins coached Richmond for 10 games.
He did?
After Plough got the flick.
Yep.
And didn't do a bad job. But, it's hard. If the coach is getting sacked, your team's not going any good. So to expect that the caretaker is going to come in and suddenly change things around, it is a big ask.
Yeah, we've come a long way since Terry Wheeler got sacked in round 2. Round 2, I'm trying to think of the year, and that's when Alan Joyce...
Yeah, okay.
No, sorry.
No, that was...
Apologies. Plough came in.
Yeah.
Plough came in.
Plough did a good job, and then he got the gig the following year, which was his first year was 97, and they become a much better team in a real quick space of time.
There you go. We're off course already.
We are.
After the break, we'll speak to a man who's he's had one game as a fill-in coach when Adam Simpson went down with COVID. Matthew Knights is going to join us after the break to take us inside the Eagles camp. Today's GWS game brought to you by Bing Lee, Australian family-owned for over 65 years. And remember, you can get all your favourites in one place on KO Sports. Pickers is here for Buy My Stock. Got excess stock? Visit buymystock.com.au.
You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation for Beaumont Tiles. Hybrid flooring in store now.
Save the date. Tuesday, May 24, save 50% off all clothing at Savers. 50% off all clothing. One day only. This Tuesday, only at Savers.
Every interview and every show. Listen to the podcast now. Just click the catch-up button on the SEN app.
My Macca's Rewards has arrived. Earn points with every Macca's run to redeem on more of your favourites. Your mates' usuals or family go-tos. Download the My Macca's app and start earning today. Value means more at Macca's. T's and C's apply. See our website for details.
Hello. Frank Walker from National Tiles. National Tiles have just landed an all-new hybrid range of classic oak flooring. This amazing, fully waterproof Timberlook classic oak flooring comes in extra long planks, just like the real thing. DIY this fabulous all-new oak flooring for under $60 per metre, or we'll lay it for you for just $27 per metre more. So check out National Tiles' all-new classic oak flooring in-store or at nationaltiles.com.au now.
For the hottest of hot water you've ever seen. Rain comes on steady, hot and strong. It just keeps on and on.
The smart new Ream Easy Set controls your continuous flow water temperature from your smartphone. Accept nothing less than Australia's best.
On those darker evenings, how does your garden glow? Enjoy the outdoors at night and get your garden up in lights with Illuminate Garden Lighting. Simple, safe and easy to use, Illuminate Garden Lighting is DIY friendly. Sensational quality. Illuminate is the tradie's choice. Pick your lights, plug them in, turn them on and away you go. You'll be kicking goals in your garden with Illuminate. How does your garden glow? Illuminate, Australia's easiest garden lighting system. Available from Bunnings.
We buy stock that you can't move. BuyMyStock.com.au.
If your business has stock that you just can't move, you need BuyMyStock.com.au. They're stock clearing experts and can turn your unwanted stock into cash. Big or small, they'll clear it all. Make your unwanted stock problems go away. Visit BuyMyStock.com.au today. BuyMyStock.com.au.
We buy stock that you can't move. BuyMyStock.com.au.
As the ladder begins to take shape in the footy, go and see Tyre Power during their store-wide super sale now on. Your number one destination on Google Maps for safety. Tyre Power is ready to help your family drive safe on the roads. Next road trip, make Tyre Power your first stop and find out why Tyre Power is Australia's best. During the store-wide super sale on now, buy 3, get 1 free on selected Falcon, passenger and SUV tyres. Each Tyre Power is 100% independent and locally owned. Find your Aussie local at tyrepower.com.au.
Safety Steel, time to get real.
Tim Watson here. Can you remember as a kid painting goals on the side of your dad's shed and shooting for goals day after day? Well, they built them tough back then, just like the sheds from Safety Steel. For prefab steel kit buildings and custom designed sheds that are tough and durable, search Safety Steel. For your dream shed, search Safety Steel.
Safety Steel, time to get real.
Which oil keeps your business moving? Farmers and fleet managers, they know. Construction crews and car mechanics, they know. And you know. Valvoline, the original engine oil.
If you're a local multi-trade contracting company, Handy wants you. Handy works with insurance companies with fair rates and fast payment. If you're licensed and insured, it's quick to sign up. Go to handy.com. That's HANDDI.com.
You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation for Beaumont Tiles. Hybrid flooring in store now.
In Pickering, we are going to focus on the Giants and the Eagles. We've got Hawthorn and Brisbane coming up today. Some of you will be taking that across the country, and then Fremantle and Collingwood to round out round number 10. But we can Pickers head up to Sydney and go inside the Eagles camp with their assistant coach, Matthew Nice, has been good enough to join us. So, Matthew, great to have you part of AFL Nation.
Yeah, thanks, boys.
We're just getting a look at the pitches in front of us here. It looks a little bit overcast. The ground is, I think it's copped a fair bit of rain up there, but what are the conditions that sort of greet you in Sydney?
Yeah, I guess the last 48 hours has been pretty wet. It rained most of yesterday. We had a captain's run and we got a little bit damp during that. But the ground's held up okay. It's a little bit chopped up in patches. And I think, if the conditions stay the way they are, which is sort of overcast and mild, it'll be great for footy. And obviously, if there's rain comes, it'll get really slippery really quickly and possibly cut up. So it probably all depends on the rain between now and game time, I guess.
Nida, how are you enjoying it? It's Liam Pickering here. Good luck this afternoon.
Thanks, Pickers.
How are you enjoying the move? It's a big move. I mean, you've been at the Cats a long time. You've gone over to the West. It's been a challenging year, no doubt. How have you enjoyed it, though?
Yeah, I've actually relished it, mate. It was sort of being at Geelong for 10 years and... I had an amazing period at Geelong, and it was an amazing footy club, great culture, and I loved my time there, every bit of it, right until the end. But I just felt like I needed a bit of a change and a new challenge, and certainly that's come that way early this year with challenges with getting the midfield group together, continuity, just with that injury and COVID. But I think we're starting to have some small wins. We're starting to make some ground with our footy. The last 2 weeks, I think we've played 2 decent quarters around the ball and in the contest and then been blown away in the other 2. So that's our real challenge now, is to take that further, Pickers, to match it with teams for longer so we can actually get the ball in our front half and hit the scoreboard, because hitting the scoreboard's been a real issue. I mean, when you're only kicking 4 or 5 goals a week, it's clearly not enough. So that's what we're aiming at today.
Yeah, well, it sort of helps, isn't it, when you get back your captain and you also get one of your good runners, Andrew Gaff. They're very, very important inclusions, both of those guys.
Yeah, they are pickers. I mean, Gaff is probably a little bit, not unheralded, but he's sort of just the running he does on the outside. Plus, he's sort of, when you go in the ball, he's always breaking into space. And then Shuey's just, he's outstanding at winning the ball at the contest and then feeding his teammates. And that gives you that little bit of overlap out of those congested situations, which we know is so important, the way the game's played now, that any time you can get out the side or through the front because of a good contest and a good handball, I think that helps you forward. So, yeah, two vitally important players for us, mate, and we're really keen for both of those boys just to build over the next period of time and have a great second half of the year.
And the other one you get back is Jamie Cripps, who he wasn't picked originally due to a leg infection, which I think has made a rapid recovery, and he's another good one that you add to the 22 today.
Yeah, Cripper was really in doubt for this game 2 or 3 days ago. He actually got an infection and a little bit of cellulitis, and yeah, look, I thought he was, and we all thought he was a minimal chance to play, but he recovered really quickly. He was really keen to play. He flew up on a later flight than the team. So he's done everything he can to be here today with the team, and great sign of leadership, wanting to be in the team in this period of time where it's been a bit tough for us. So him across that half-forward line is going to be a nice tonic for us today.
When you're an outsider looking in at a club, and you've done it for 10 years at Geelong and obviously at the Bombers and whatnot, you've got to the West Coast Eagles. I always like to ask coaches, is there a player you go, gee, I didn't know he was that? Or you thought, from the outside, you thought, he's all right, but he's actually a lot better than that when you get to know them?
Yeah, I think there's a couple that stick out for me. That probably the first one is, that it's probably easy to see for everyone, really, but Jeremy McGovern, his timing with his aerial stuff and even his ground ball stuff and his handball is better than I thought. And he just continues to shine. And what's been impressive this year has been his leadership. He's really, with a lot of boys being out at times, and Shuey being out, and Gaff being out, and different guys, McGovern's leadership's really shone through. Been outstanding for us this year. So he's been one. And then, Big Nick's out at the moment, but I always thought Nat New was a great ruckman and good in the contest, but just the way he brings others in the group around him, both during the week of training and game day, and he brings the group with him as a ruckman is, it's outstanding to see, and I'm really looking forward to working with Nick in the future when he gets back from his knee in a few weeks.
I mean, you've walked into it. This is a tough year, and this is the test of all clubs, isn't it, Matt? How you ride this. I mean, West Coast have never really been. I mean, I go back to when I was covering a lot of games in the West when they had a really poor year under John Worsfold many years ago and won the Wooden Spoon, rebounded. So clubs are going to go through these peaks and troughs. But I think the former players who have got a really tight connection with the club, I think it's the 30 years, isn't it, since the 92 flag, they've been around the club and just trying to offer their sort of support and just keep the place up and about. I mean, you've really, the circumstances of COVID and then having a huge injury list. I mean, clubs don't like to make excuses, but this is just an extraordinary sort of year and just trying to get personnel on the paddock.
Yeah, it has been quite unique because you never want to use injury because you've got personnel and that's what you got a whole list for. But It was the timing of both at the same time. So we're just endeavouring to get some traction with our footy, get some continuity, and then we had John Worsfold and Drew Banfield, guys like that during the week come down and had a look at training, which was terrific. Ashley Sampi was down there.
Yep.
Andrew Embley was down there. So we had and I've missed a couple, but it was great to see them. They just come down, had a look at training, had a bit of a laugh with the boys. John offered a few words of encouragement and advice, and it was a good week to have them down and. Good challenge today. GWS got obviously a new coach. They're looking to obviously get some W's on the board and get going themselves this season. So it's in some ways it's pretty critical sort of day for both teams to endeavour to try and get a win. Yeah,
huge opportunity for both. Really appreciate some insights, and we look forward to the bounce down in about just under an hour. Good luck.
Yeah, thanks, boys. Tough.
Matthew Knight's assistant coach of the West Coast Eagles. So they do get Gaff and Shuey, and Cripps is a nice little one to have who can, no doubt hit the scoreboard. Because when you look down, Jack Darling inside that forward 50 has been going at about 50% this year, Pickers. You wonder where the rest of their goals are going to come from. But at least Cripps has got that great goal sense. Yeah,
it was good to chat with Matty Knights. He's a very experienced coach, and he's very rated. He's very highly rated. I know he got a bit of a bum deal, I think, at Essendon with what happened, and taken over from Kevin Sheedy. I mean, it's a tough gig, but what he was able to do it at Geelong. I know they rated him really highly there. And it's a big challenge, isn't it, to pick up and go over the West Coast coming off. They knew that this was going to happen. Most people in Australia knew that when they opened up the borders, it was going to be an issue for the two West Australian teams. The West Coast have had the injuries compound, obviously the COVID, but Fremantle have been able to handle it a lot better at the moment. They've got a huge football club, the West Coast.
Yeah, and we're in this phase, aren't we, where, in looking at all the coaches that have been appointed across the last 10 to 15 years, we've gone, let's go the Messiah experienced coach, then we've gone to the rookie untried. Now we're going back to, Voss gets a second chance, Brett Ratton gets a second chance. And
they're going well.
And a lot of people always thought Brett Ratton was pretty hard done by.
He was absolutely stitched up.
Voss makes the finals in his first year at Brisbane, and then they probably made some wrong list selections, and it went a little bit pear-shaped, but no one wanted to totally put the ruler through, such a champion as a player.
But to his credit, though, BP, he didn't just go and say, hopefully I'll get another. And same with Brett Ratton.
Correct.
They went and they rolled their sleeves up, put their ego in check and went, you know what, I know I'm a champion footballer, which Voss was obviously a superstar and Ratton was a champion player as well. They didn't drop their bundles. They didn't have a whinge. And certainly Ratton was treated really poorly. And I was involved in that from a management perspective back then. And it was a very, very ordinary handle, very poorly handled. But he's gone out and look what he's doing with them this year. And there was pressure on Brett Ratton at the start of the year. And the same with Johnny Worsfold. He's come into what looks like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory to me. You look at that list and you go, oh boy, wouldn't mind getting my hands on this little. He's still got to do it. I mean, that was a big win the other night by the Blues. And we spoke about it. We've spoken about it all weekend, obviously. But when you have a big win on a Friday night and a big game against a good team, you get a lot of kudos.
No doubt. So when you just sort of put Matthew Knights in that collection of names, I mean, as you say, highly rated at Geelong, but has probably done that with little fanfare, hasn't he? So those in the industry, when they're picking and choosing, and there's recommendations made, so it'll be fascinating to see whether someone like him, who walked into a huge task to take over from Kevin Sheedy, so never really got to launch his coaching career totally.
And not only that, he had to finish off a couple of champions too. And that's never ideal.
No. Indeed. So Matthew Knights, we'll see if he possibly is in the frame down the track. Our luggage partner for today is Samsonite, Innovative Travel and Business Solutions. This GWS game brought to you by Bingley, Australian family owned for over 65 years. We're building up to the bounce. Brett Phillips, Liam Pickering, Hawthorn and Brisbane later on. Fremantle and Collingwood to come from the west. So it's a huge day of footy. Round 10, certainly overcast in Sydney. Hopefully the rain will stay away for a big game this afternoon. A lot of changes, certainly for the GWS Giants, and the West Coast gets some cavalry back. Hopefully that makes them more competitive. We're taking calls all weekend for Star 21 2021 Telstra Enterprise Partner of the Year. Back with more of our build-up coming up next on AFL Nation.
You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation for Beaumont Tiles. Hybrid flooring in store now.
Safety steel, time to get real.
Tim Watson here. Can you remember as a kid painting goals on the side of your dad's shed and shooting for goals day after day? Well, they built them tough back then, just like the sheds from Safety Steel. For prefab steel kit buildings and custom designed sheds that are tough and durable, search Safety Steel. For your dream shed, search Safety Steel.
Safety steel, time to get real.
From first-time browsing to big-time arousing, Sexyland is all about fun. We have Australia's biggest range of sexy costumes, couples' toys, fun gifts and games for adults. And our team of fun specialists are always here to help in-store and online. Sexyland 11 stores open 7 days until midnight in Melbourne and Geelong, or shop online and get 2-hour delivery.
Take me now, I'm coming. Take me now, Sexyland.
If your business has stock that you just can't move, buymystock.com.au. Make your unwanted stock problems go away. Visit buymystock.com.au today.
We buy stock that you can't move. Buymystock.com.au.
Tyre Power's store-wide super sale gives you the power to save on a huge range of big brands, like Falcon tyres. Right now at Tyre Power, you get the power to buy 3, get 1 free on Falcon ZX, ZE, 914 passenger and SUV tyres. Buy 3, get 1 free on selected Falcon tyres, plus many more super savings store-wide at Tyre Power. Tyre Power's store-wide super sale is now on. Visit tyrepower.com.au or call 13 21 91 for your local owner-operator.
Sheds come in all sorts of shapes and sizes, but if you're after a shed, go and have a word with the family-owned team at Best Sheds, because right now you'll get 10% off the sheds at Best Sheds. Plus, all their sheds come with a 20-year manufacturer's warranty, and you can choose from the standard range or customise the shed of your dreams. Hit the sheds with Best Sheds 10% off sale. Best Sheds, 100% Australian-owned and manufactured. Visit bestsheds.com.au.
Kane has a carpentry business. His challenge to renew his public liability insurance for less than his old policy. On your marks, get set.
Yeah, I just did it.
What?
Yeah, I went online to BizCover. Took 5 minutes. I compared a bunch of policies. I saved over $250.
So, no dramas?
No dramas at all.
There are literally no dramas when you go to BizCover, the business insurance specialists. Save time, money, and get instant cover at bizcover.com.au.
I'm here with the man of the hour. Now, Mikey, how's the leg? Talk us through what happened.
Yeah, look, Daisy, it was the end of a busy harvest, so I was on autopilot. Next thing I know, I dozed off and ran my ute off the road.
It was one hell of a collision. You're lucky it didn't end your career, or worse.
Let my family down here, putting myself, the farm, all on the line. Can't afford to take your eye off the ball.
There are plenty of dangers on the farm, and when you're tired, they're harder to spot. Remember to take 5, freshen up, and get back in the zone. Find out how at makingourfarmsafer.org.au.
Ken!
Yes?
You stand before me today to take the Cannot Hire Customer Service Pledge, the Ken Oath. By taking the oath, you hereby pledge to help everyone, everywhere, make their job easy. What say you?
Ken Oath?
Ha! I can't hear you!
Ken Oath!
My Macca's Rewards has arrived. Earn points with every Macca's run to redeem on more of your favourites. Your mates' usuals or family go-tos. Download the My Macca's app and start earning today. Value means more at Macca's. T's and C's apply. See our website for details.
You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation for Beaumont Tyres. Hybrid flooring in store now.
Giants and the West Coast Eagles doing battle, of course, at Giants Stadium. Both teams just out on the ground going through their paces here. Raft of changes, as we've mentioned, a few additional ones from the team that was, of course, announced on Thursday night. So overall, 9 changes for the GWS Giants and 3 decent players back in for the West Coast Eagles, Gaff Shuey and also Jamie Cripps, who will come in for his first game of the year. Today's game brought to you by Bing Lee, Australian family owned for over 65 years. Brett Phillips alongside Liam Pickering. We've gone inside the Eagles camp having a chat there with Matthew Knights. I know Sunday Crunch Time sort of pulled apart the round pickers, but for those just sort of turning on the radio, what have you taken out of round 10 that started with the Blues and, well, a mighty first half that they couldn't quite run down Sydney on Friday night. I was down at the Cattery yesterday. A little bit disappointing, I thought, Port Adelaide in the second half. Gold Coast wouldn't go away, certainly against the Bulldogs, and they've got a couple of games in Darwin coming up. And what do you make of the Bombers last night, who continue to be under a bit of scrutiny?
Well, they're under scrutiny because they're just not quite good enough at the moment. That's the problem. But no, I actually watched the Adelaide St Kilda game last night. I thought that was a cracker of a game. They really looked like they were going to win that game, Adelaide. And to their credit, the Saints, they're finding a way to win, and good on them.
11 goals, 2 from, set shots last night, and Big Mac's kicked 6 straight. That's a fair difference from the game in Cairns a few weeks ago and a couple of other games where the behinds have heavily outweighed the goals.
Yeah, it's been a predictable type of round, really. I mean, I went for Adelaide as a bit of an upset. The rest of them, I think, were pretty self-explanatory. I think Carlton Sydney was a flip of the coin, obviously, on Friday night, but they were a bit too good, the Blues, and haven't they got that crowd behind them at the moment? That's why it's hard to pick against them in Melbourne, because you think, You know, the crowd haven't seen success for so long, and now they've got some belief back.
Yeah.
They're going to get there in real voice. And the Swans didn't do a lot wrong. They had a bit of a snooze in the second quarter, completely outplayed. But after that, they were pretty good.
Yeah, if there's one team that's never going to just say at half-time,
No,
look, it's away from us tonight. It's just
Not our
a
night.
too hard. This team, it just makes them dig in, yeah.
I can't remember the last time the Swans really, you thought, oh, gee, they've just not turned it up. They don't turn it up ever, but I just can't think of a time where they're not at least competitive.
Yeah.
Even if they're getting well beaten, they're competitive at least.
Yep.
Always been a hard team to beat. Well, sorry, not always. They've been a hard team to beat for the last, since Paul Roos took over and under Longmire.
Yeah, incredible value for a supporter group that's, I think, year on year up there in Sydney, they become more sort of blue-collar, hard-nosed like their footy team.
Oh, yeah. From
the early
He's a great coach.
Swanette.
The big horse.
Different days?
Yeah, well, yeah, but they were different days. But the old horse, he's a very good coach, Johnny Longmire, a really good coach.
So the 8 is just fascinating right now, isn't it? I mean, just to right now weigh up the credentials of some of these teams. So Carlton have won 4 in a row. Now, you know, can they sustain it? Richmond have won 4 in a row, but we still want to see Richmond, you know, take on Melbourne and Brisbane just to see where they're totally at. They've got a huge game against Sydney. If they can get to 7 and 4, you feel like the Tigers are finding a bit of their mojo. Geelong, you know, seeing them yesterday, I just don't quite know where they sit. You do feel like they're not a top 4 team right now, but they could certainly get on a bit of a roll. And Sydney have just sort of staggered the last couple of weeks. Fremantle, huge game. They don't want to let that one slip after the promise of the early part of the season against Collingwood will be pretty desperate today. So, and those teams, you know, some decent credentialed teams sitting outside the 8. The Bulldogs are obviously the standout one there. If they can get their game going where it's been win-loss up until the last couple of weeks, they're the one, aren't they, that could certainly jump in.
Yeah, I would think, but maybe Port Adelaide as well. I mean, they were horrible yesterday. They were a bit ordinary in the second half, but I still think they're a fluker's hope of getting in, but I can't see anyone from Port Adelaide down, like Collingwood, Gold Coast, Hawthorn, etc., really challenging. But, yeah, the 8 won't change much. I think the Dogs will probably get in. At whose expense? Good question. Not so sure I know. Because Richmond look like a reasonable side to me. They look like a top 8 side. The Swans, I'm not thinking is going anywhere. Geelong, I don't think will miss. And hard to go against St Kilda and Fremantle. They were the vulnerable ones, but they're both having great wins.
Correct. Yeah, it is hard to mount a case right now that one of those could potentially slip out. I'll tell you what, we love watching guys, and I was just thinking, Pickers, you know, being at that Geelong-Port Adelaide game yesterday. I mean, I've always been a fan of the left footers. I mean, you know, go back. But Kane Farrell by foot yesterday.
That was nuts.
I mean, he's a guy that, you know, has obviously not played the volume of senior footy that he would love to. He's had a lot of injuries across the journey. So he kicks 2 big goals from outside 50. And that one, I can't think who he hit the target
Robbie
on.
Gray. Robbie Gray.
It was
Sliced
Robbie.
that one. It went about a metre off the ground.
Yep.
Hit him right in the chest in the third quarter.
Absolute elite.
It was. I'm just trying to think who he kicks like. Because he kicks across his body. And I'm just trying to think of the player there is a player that he reminds me of. Someone might be able to help us, actually. It's got that sweeping left foot.
All right, I'll go way back.
Yeah, give me. No, I've had someone in recent years. I'm trying to get to who it is in a second.
Well, I was thinking a bit of Brendan McCormack.
Billy McCormack.
Yeah.
Was he a left footer?
He could kick both.
I was going to say he's a right footer, wasn't he?
And he kicked across his body, and he kicked those little daisy cutters that were just millimetres off the ground. Sorry, I didn't do it again.
Matty Sackling, that's the one. He's got that same where they throw the leg.
Yep.
They throw the leg from out wide, and it pierces the ball. But Kane Farrell, he's a beautiful kick. He's a good kick. They've got a couple of really underrated players. He's one of them, and that Dan Houston's another one. He's a real good player.
Well, he had a ton of it at half back. I mean, he just mopped up everything yesterday because they had a lot of territory, Geelong for parts of that game. So, yeah, I think they're a fascinating watch. And Gary Rowan back in that team, because you and I were sort of having a little chat pre-game to coming on here. So we know that Hawkins and Cameron have, between them have been able to own that forward 50 and share the goals this year. And then Rowan just adds that sort of third tall. He can play small. He's kamikaze in the way he goes about it. He'll run down. He'll chase everything. He'll get himself into situations that you think, maybe he could avoid that, where he gets injured and then he's out for a period of time. But that's the way he plays his footy. Now, there's the question mark of whether he's, standing up when it really, really counts. So obviously that's probably the frustration for, the clubs that he's played for. But you feel like they're just. I feel like they're a better team with him in that mix alongside Hawkins and also Cameron if they can make that all gel.
Yeah, they clearly think that as well because he wasn't selected on any good form in the VFL. Trust me on that. He hardly had a touch. So they put him in because they needed someone that can offer something different. Because it's a lot, we saw what Port Adelaide were able to do with Geelong last year. Aliir drops back, the ball goes in long, he's cutting off intercept marking. So they had a different setup yesterday. And I thought that the things that don't get a statistic yesterday, Gary Rowan was very good at. Very good at. Like, as in creating a contest. There was a great rundown chase of, I'm going to say it was Butters, maybe? Butters? Someone coming out of the full back line was looking like they're going to run down and have about 3 or 4 bounces. And, hey, hang on a minute, look who's on me. So when he's got that mindset, he's fanatical, he's good. There are the knocks on him are the knocks, and they always have been the same knocks that, he does go missing at big times. He's a beautiful kick, that's the other thing. Give him an opportunity to have a shot at goal. He doesn't miss many.
No. Exactly right. I thought De Koning was terrific yesterday. He's an emerging player.
He's having a good year.
Stanley goes out late, so Blixar's had to go in and obviously shoulder a lot of the ruck duties.
Well, Blixar's last 2 times he's played in the ruck, he's been in the best couple on the ground. And he was in the best couple yesterday again. I thought he was terrific. But he was great against the Giants when they won, and he rucked by himself. So Stanley and Segler was having, he won't be too far away, I don't think, so that'll give him another option.
So it hadn't quite been the fortress, had it? 'Cause I think they were 3-3 in their last 6 going into, they lost to Fremantle a few weeks ago, but it's a nice thing to have. I mean, they've got Adelaide next week at home, so when they've had a little bit of their backs to the wall and they're trying to play catch-up, you have a couple of games back on the home deck, and they still, in an era where home ground advantage isn't as big as what it used to be. It's not even as big for the Cats, but it is still nice to have because predominantly they don't get beaten down there that often.
And they don't. That's right. As a general rule, they very rarely lose there, but they have had a couple of upsets. They haven't been by much. And they lost to Melbourne after the siren. They lost to Fremantle by a goal or 10 points or something.
And Brisbane. They beat Brisbane. It was close, though.
But no, there was one other they lost last year late. Oh, Giants, when they'd half their team out. They lost to the GWS.
Correct.
So, it's not quite the fortress. I think they play better on bigger grounds, personally, Geelong. But, I think it'll be a good challenge next week. Adelaide are a good competitive contested side, so I don't think it'll be a walk in the park next week.
Yeah, Crows have, we talk about the talent on their list. We, compared to other clubs, we talk about their blue-collar style of footy. I mean, they have lost their last 4 now after, getting to 3-3 when they beat the Bulldogs up at Ballarat. But, no one was expecting Adelaide to make the 8 this year. So what'll be the pass mark for them? Because, obviously, you want to see the trajectory just keep going up, but sometimes that mightn't reflect in wins. You become a better footy team, but you might,
you're up against better teams.
Lose 1 or 2 from the previous season. So
and they're not playing against mug teams, really, when you think about it. They've beaten the Bulldogs at Ballarat. They played against St Kilda last night.
Yep.
Bad loss against the Giants. Bad loss. Apart from that, I think they've been pretty competitive.
Yep. We are building up to the Giants and also the West Coast Eagles. So just the 2 subs. It'll be Jake Steen for GWS and Brady Howe for the West Coast Eagles, who plays first game. Been playing his trade?
No.
The Peel Thunder?
No, he's played a couple of games.
So first game this year?
No. He's played 3. This is his first year. He was a draftee last year. Brady Hoff. It's pronounced Hoff. Because I called him Brady Howe for the first 6 months I was managing him, and he said, no, it's actually Hoff.
Just take that back. I was looking at the wrong column.
No, that's right. So he's
at the scoreboard this year. He's played 3 games.
He's played 3 games. He's a nice young player, and he's going to be a really good player, I think.
Yep. So they will be the subs for the 2 respective teams. We'll take a break. We'll come back and drill down on this game a little bit further, and we'll get all the odds with Sportsbet. The crowd, be fair to say, it's building. Pickers, it's certainly not going to be a full house here today. I think there's a few out the back stalls. Whilst there's no pre-game entertainment on, they do come in pretty late, the fans.
Yeah, what about last week? How many did we end up getting at that Giants game? They were making a lot of noise, remember? The Suns game, I should say.
Yeah, I'm not sure. The
Suns and Fremantle, it was a bit of a drizzly old day, but they were making a hell of a noise, but it didn't look like there was anyone there.
No.
So hopefully today they'll come in, but... they should come in and have a look at their new coach.
It's amazing.
How their team's going to go.
4,000 or 5,000 on the terraces can sound like 50 at times, particularly if you're winning a game of footy. Correct. AFL Nation, the Giants and the Eagles not too far away.
You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation for Beaumont Tiles. Hybrid flooring in store now.
Sustained performance in footy is more than just one great game. It's about playing consistently, game after game, season after season. Host Plus delivers strong performance over the long term, with top returns over 20 years. A top-performing super fund over the long term, that's a plus. Search, compare Host Plus today.
Super Ratings SR50 Balanced Index, December 2021. General advice only. Consider the relevant Host Plus PDS and TMD at hostplus.com.au before deciding if Host Plus is appropriate for you. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance.
Well, the hottest of hot water you've ever seen. Ream comes on steady, hot and strong. It just keeps on and on. Install a Ream. Install a Ream. Install a Ream. Install a Ream.
Ask your plumber for Ream, Australia's #1.
When they're on the road, truckies have no time to waste, so a flat tyre can be a real letdown. Fortunately, Tyre Right is a member of the best truck emergency roadside tyre service in Australia. So if you've blown a tyre, no matter where you are, give them a call and they'll get you back trucking fast. And they have Australia's largest tyre selection, including steer, drive, trailer and more. Say good day to your local Tyre Right store or call 138 168 to find out more. They won't be beaten on any advertised price. No trucking worries. TyreRight.com.au.
From first-time browsing to big-time arousing, Sexyland is all about fun. We have Australia's biggest range of sexy costumes, couples' toys, fun gifts and games for adults. And our team of fun specialists are always here to help in-store and online. Sexyland 11 stores open 7 days until midnight in Melbourne and Geelong, or shop online and get 2-hour delivery.
You'll never miss a moment with all of your favourites live on KO Sports. Every match of the NRL and AFL seasons, as well as every F1 race live and ad break free during play. The NBA playoffs are also heating up, and it's the biggest season of netball ever. That's right, all the big hits, high-flying heroics and buzzer beaters, ready to watch anywhere, anytime. How good is that? New to KO? Start your free trial today.
So if you cast your eyes over here, you'll find the heart of the Milky Way. Oh, it's looking superb on this crisp winter night and in one of the darkest skies on Earth. Now, who wants to see the rings of Saturn?
If this is what stargazing along the Murray River sounds like, imagine how it feels. River Murray Dark Sky Reserve. Perfect for those who want a little more. South Australia. Rewards wonder.
With the price of building products going up and supply hard to come by, builders must be worried how they'll finish the next job. So don't wait for building materials to arrive while prices keep going up. Go Steel. Steel Frame Solutions can have your single-storey project delivered to site within 6 weeks. Their steel frames won't rot, warp, and are termite resistant. And the best part? You can lock in your price and timing and get back to work. steelframesolutions.com.au.
If you're a local multi-trade contracting company, Handy wants you. Handy works with insurance companies with fair rates and fast payment. If you're licensed and insured, it's quick to sign up. Go to handy.com. That's HANDDI.com.
My Macca's Rewards has arrived. Earn points with every Macca's run to redeem on more of your favourites. Your mates' usuals or family go-tos. Download the My Macca's app and start earning today. Value means more at Macca's. T's and C's apply. See our website for details.
You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation for Beaumont Tiles. Hybrid flooring in store now.
At the country, Brett Phillips and Liam Pickering. We are taking in the Giants and the Eagles this afternoon. It hasn't looked flash, the win-loss column for both teams this year, but of course it is a new-look Giants under Mark McVeigh, who gets his first opportunity as a senior coach, and the West Coast Eagles, a year that has certainly not gone to plan from a health and safety protocol perspective, and also an injury list that, none of those players are looking like they're going to be back anytime soon. They've put a couple, haven't they, the Eagles?
Yep.
We didn't ask Matty Knights this earlier, but Oscar Allen and young Edwards have been sort of put into cotton wool for next year, particularly for Oscar Allen, I suppose, with Josh Kennedy looking likely. this may be his
last year, yep.
Last year, they need him ready to go early next year, Oscar Allen. So probably a wise move, and whether any more are going to sort of fall into that category, a mid-season draft, of course, as well. So
you'd think they'd have a selection now.
Yep.
With those two put on ice, I'd say that they'd have a pick or two.
Inactive list, yeah.
You'd think, depending on what's around, of course. But, yeah, it's been a tough year for them. Just even looking at the division of them in the rooms, there's a few young faces in there. You usually look at West Coast and you can name every player. You just go, oh, yeah, that's someone's, you know. But you're looking at them, I'm thinking, geez, who's that bloke? Who's that bloke?
Yep.
Who's that bloke?
Well, it's uncharted waters, isn't it?
But they are a serious football club, West Coast. I mean, they're the biggest club in the country. I know everyone talks about Richmond and Mount Collingwood. Forget that. This is the biggest club in the country, is West Coast Eagles, because they are the most profitable club and the biggest club with the biggest fan base. Yes, I know Richmond and Collingwood are big clubs, but yeah, this is a club that doesn't accept being down near the bottom. And the two teams we're talking about today, they've played 18 games between them this year. They've won 3.
Yep.
I mean, with the lists that they've got, I mean, West Coast have got a genuine excuse. What's the Giants' excuse? Oh, that really, I know they've got injuries today, but they've had pretty good teams in this year and they've been pretty insipid.
Yep. I mean, that's the where I'd love to be. I was just contemplating that, because I'd love to be a fly on the wall, because, yeah, you've seen the trajectory just keep going up for the Giants. And sometimes as a club, I mean, you can speak to this better than I can, but you sort of just have that 1 year where it just goes a little pear-shaped.
Falls apart.
You've got to start again. And, and what McVeigh's going to do a little bit differently. I mean, every coach will bring and put their spin on it. There's going to be some opportunities, no doubt, for that next tier to maybe play a little bit more senior footy, but they've had to have a bit of a reset, because they had that real premiership window, and that's certainly gone now. And then how you get back to that spot again.
It's interesting. They could do worse than look at what happened with Richmond last year.
Yep.
I mean, Richmond missed the 8 last year. It's unheard of, really, on what they've delivered for 5 years. But they've bounced back.
Yep.
They're not wallowing down the bottom of the ladder again. They're back. Yeah, so I've had a couple of bad losses for them this year, but they're playing good enough footy to be right in it again, I think.
Have you given, further thought to who might be, what is the best option for the Giants going forward? I mean, it seems like the footy world is certainly saying that it's perhaps a more experienced coach to go there and coach them. I mean, how far is the net going to be for the Giants, and what they look for as, the best ideal senior coach?
Well, I mean, one at the top of everyone's, thoughts really at the moment is Alistair Clarkson. Would Alistair Clarkson go to live in Western Sydney? Personally, I couldn't see it. I couldn't see it, but man, we heard him talk the other day. He didn't knock it back. He didn't knock it on the head. So he'd be a great coach for them. They've got a good enough list that you can rebuild really quickly, and he is a super coach. Is that what they need? They might not. They might need someone like Adelaide, or Mark McVeigh. They might need someone like that. That's a good fit for them because of the age demographic of their club. And then there's talk about, obviously, Ulster's being linked to every club in Australia, but the main two that he's being linked to at the moment are the two, new clubs, GWS and Gold Coast. So, and it doesn't sound like Stewie G's going anywhere to me.
Well, I think it's a huge 2 weeks, isn't it? Because the Suns go to Darwin, they play Hawthorn and North Melbourne, so they can get to 6-6. They're sort of right in the picture where they could be, knocking on the door genuinely for the first time, but there's a bit to play out there.
Do we ever get to the bottom? We were discussing it last week. Why are they going to Darwin 2 weeks in a row? I know it's their zone, but is that the reason they're doing it? Back-to-back
I'm not 100% sure, because I know the agreement, unless it's been extended to play 2 games, maybe as part of the deal, and they would have looked at it and thought, okay, well, we can spend some, genuine time on the road as a footy club all together
if they're
for
going to
2
do
weeks.
It's best to stay there, I agree.
And then you do all the community stuff around that and really embrace the trip.
Yeah, okay.
I can only think that'd be the case.
They are big games, though, aren't they?
Yep.
Like, if they can, as you say, if they can win those 2, and they're winnable, they're real winnable.
Do you think, in terms of the Giants going forward, now James Hurd's going to be in the box today, so there's all the intrigue around Hurd just dipping his toe back in again. But do you think he's a guy that would be content pickers to be a senior assistant coach, or be a right-hand man of a younger coach? He's been there and done it, or is the James Hurd that or the other people you talk to, it's still that little flicker there that he would love to have another crack at being the senior coach, and he wouldn't settle for anything less than that?
Well, he's not just going to be put straight into a role without doing any of the work. I mean, we mentioned it earlier. Michael Voss has been rolling his sleeves up at Port Adelaide for the past 10 years, and so's Brett Ratton. They got their opportunity through hard work. I mean, Hurdy at the moment hasn't done the hard work. He's only just, as you say, dipped his toe back in. I would think he would need to do a fair bit of, a few years at least. Game changes all the time. If you're not hands-on, and you're not involved, it gets away from you pretty quick.
Yep.
So I would think, no, I don't think that they would put him straight back in. No, I don't think anyone would give him a senior job tomorrow.
So do you think he would settle for to come back into the
if he wants
footy on a full-time sort of being part of a coaching team but not be the senior coach? Do you think he would settle for a role like that?
I think he would. I think he would settle for a, director of coaching or a, senior assistant coach. I do. I think he'd do it really well. And then he might get his opportunity. He's not an old man.
No.
He's still a young guy.
But it depends on the scenario, doesn't it? So Mark McVeigh's got 13 weeks. Obviously, they're pretty tight. Now, if Mark McVeigh makes such a good impression...
he'll want Hurdy with him for sure.
No doubt.
And I reckon he would go because they're real good mates.
Yeah, that's one situation where it could work.
I think it would work perfectly. He brings in Hurdy as his... And it would be a sell for the Giants. Yeah, they've got one of the champions of the game, James Hird, with his mate who's doing a real good job as a coach. I could see that being sold. Yeah, absolutely I could.
Do you have any intel as to how the Giants rate Mark McVeigh internally? So Leon Cameron's obviously a huge fan, and Leon Cameron's left the club on good terms and obviously has really put Mark McVeigh up in lights as the guy that has to be the interim coach for now, who has been building his credentials.
Oh, I think everything I hear about him, everything we've dealt with him on, he's a terrific operator, yeah. Yep. I know he's highly rated at the Giants and he's highly rated around the AFL. So it's not a real surprise that he got the gig. And I think he'll do a good job.
Fascinating time. There's 13 weeks for him to certainly put his best foot forward. And, obviously there's just the shadow of Alistair Clarkson right across to the competition for clubs that are in two minds as to where they go with their senior coaching appointment for next year, and trying to breathe a little easy. I mean, certainly in the Gold Coast case, you feel like they want to appoint Stuart Dew. They want to reward him for doing the hard yards because they can now see a bit of light starting to emerge.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
So he's on trial, and it's a fascinating 10 to 12 weeks.
They're making things really difficult for them not to keep Stewie Dew because of everything we're hearing out of it is he's our man, he's our man, he's our man. It's going to be a big backflip now if all of a sudden Tony Cochran and Mark Evans and that go, actually, no, he's not our man. We're going to go with Clarko.
Yep. So the biggest change with the Gold Coast is they've become far tougher to beat, haven't they? They've had, maybe one or two blowouts this year, but generally speaking, they've been in every game. You've had to really shake them off and
we saw it last week.
Get rid of them.
They're a competitive, tough team. When it's a contest, they're right in the game.
Yep.
Like they're a good football team, but they've just got to get a little bit better to be able to do it consistently.
So that's been the evolution, and now it's trying to get to that next level, which is not easy in this cutthroat competition. The Eagles and the Giants are out on Giants Stadium. The weather is certainly clear for now. We'll come back and drill down as to how this game's going to be won this afternoon. The fans are coming in pretty late. This game brought to you by Bing Lee, Australian family owned for over 65 years. Brett Phillips and Liam Pickering this afternoon. Looking forward to this one. Of course, get hold of McDonald's, their small McChicken meal and cheeseburger on the My Macca's app. Get a hold of that this afternoon. The Bounce coming up next here on AFL Nation.
You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation for Beaumont Tiles. Hybrid flooring in store now.
Watch Colin Firth and Tony Collette in the new drama series The Staircase, based on the thrilling true story of a crime that shocked the world. Stream The Staircase now on Binge.
Every interview and every show. Listen to the podcast now. Just click the catch-up button on the SEN app.
Sasha has a restaurant. Her challenge. Renew her business insurance policy and save money. Sasha, your time starts...
Yeah, it's all done.
But how could you...
I just went online to BizCover and got a business insurance pack. Saved me around $600.
But I want more drama.
Yeah, I don't.
There are literally no dramas when you go to BizCover, the business insurance specialists. Save time, money and get instant cover at bizcover.com.au.
Sustained performance in footy is more than just one great game. It's about playing consistently, game after game, season after season. Host Plus delivers strong performance over the long term, with top returns over 20 years. A top-performing super fund over the long term, that's a plus. Search, compare Host Plus today.
Super Ratings SR50 Balanced Index, December 2021. General advice only. Consider the relevant Host Plus PDS and TMD at hostplus.com.au before deciding if Host Plus is appropriate for you. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance.
Okay, my battery's nearly gone. Am I picking up the kids from training or you are?
Yeah, can you get them for 5?
Couldn't hear you. Can you say that again? My battery's nearly... flat.
Without charge on your phone, nomophobia kicks in. No mobile phone phobia. You can beat it with a Signet Power Bank. With a Signet Power Bank, there's no more running out of charge when you need it most.
Yeah, okay, great. I'll be there at 5 to get the kids.
Aussie owned, Aussie designed. Power your life with a Signet Power Bank. Signet.com.
Sheds come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. But if you're after a shed, go and have a word with the family-owned team at Best Sheds. Because right now, you'll get 10% off the sheds at Best Sheds. Plus, all their sheds come with a 20-year manufacturer's warranty. And you can choose from the standard range or customise the shed of your dreams. Hit the sheds with Best Sheds 10% off sale. Best Sheds. 100% Australian-owned and manufactured. Visit bestsheds.com.au.
From first-time browsing to big-time of rousing, Sexyland is all about fun. We have Australia's biggest range of sexy costumes, couples' toys, fun gifts and games for adults. And our team of fun specialists are always here to help in-store and online. Sexyland 11 stores open 7 days until midnight in Melbourne and Geelong, or shop online and get 2-hour delivery.
Build a home fit for a king with JG King Homes. You can save up to $30,000 off their steel frame homes. Built to last with a 50-year structural warranty. TrueScore steel frame and Colorbond steel roof come as standard. Save up to $30,000 with JG King Homes for a limited time only. Visit jgkinghomes.com.au. That's jgkinghomes.com.au. T's and C's apply. Licence number CDBU 49366.
Jono, where are your safety boots?
In the Stariolode.
Hard hat, high-vis vest?
In the Stariolode.
Listen, I know you're used to feeling protected in the Stariolode, but that's only useful when you're inside the van, mate. Hyundai Stariolode is the only commercial van that has both ANCAP 5-star and Platinum safety rating. And from just $47,990 drive away for ABN holders, now's a smart time to buy. T's and C's apply. Visit hyundai.com.au/offers for details. Imagine that, Hyundai.
If you're a local multi-trade contracting company, Handy wants you. Handy works with insurance companies with fair rates and fast payment. If you're licensed and insured, it's quick to sign up. Go to handy.com. That's HANDDI.com.
You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation for Beaumont Tiles. Hybrid flooring in store now. On AFL Nation, live from Giant Stadium, it's GWS.
Oh, now Doherty's put it over there to Sard. Last bloke you want to give a chance to. Green tumbled it on the inside of the left. And it just does what Toby needs it to do. He makes the oval ball talk.
Versus West Coast.
Well done here by Hunt. He gathered it. Tackled strongly. Cripped off a step. The outside of the right boot. That's a goal. That's a goal of the nation tender.
Big game this afternoon. Well, we're going to build it up to a big game. It's been lean pickings this year for the GWS Giants. Just the 2 wins, 2-7 from the first 9 rounds. A change of coach as Mark McVeigh steps into the hot seat today. And for the West Coast Eagles, well, it has been a season that has gone pear-shaped from the start with all the health and safety protocols, a big injury list, players missing left, right and centre. Just a fielder team has been a challenge for the Eagles this year, who do get some personnel back. 1-8 up against a young Giants team with a caretaker coach. So look at this as an opportunity to get a second win for the year. Great to have you with us on AFL Nation. This GWS game brought to you by Bingley, Australian family owned for over 65 years. Let's get all the odds thanks to Sportsbet.
It's time for an odds update. Thanks to Sportsbet. Sportsbet's bet with mates. Gamble responsibly. 1-800 858 858.
This game is a really tough game to bet into, GWS and the West Coast Eagles. GWS obviously coming in as favourites at $1.17. West Coast, as short as they've been for a while, $4.90. They've got a few players coming back, but they're still putting their hands up for that wooden spoon. The line, 31.5 either way. The last 5 matches, West Coast Eagles have lost by more than 40. So the trend suggests that the line should be able to be covered there by the GWS Giants, but you just don't know with the Giants what team's coming up. The total points over, it's 150 at the moment. 17 of their last 20 matches for the GWS have gone over that line. So have a think of that one as well for the total points over. Toby Green, someone who you think's always going to be getting a few goals, particularly against these lesser teams. Him for 3 goals, $1.83. For 4 goals, $3.20. I'm chucking him for 4 goals into my same game multi. GWS to win. And Bailey Williams for an anytime goal. He scored a goal the last 3 matches and he's giving you a bit of value there at $2.15. That adds it up to $7. Gamble responsibly.
Indeed. Give that number a call, 1-800 858 858. Let's get into our pre-match here. Both teams out on the ground, just going through their preliminaries, their warm-ups for Ream. Ask your plumber to install the Ream steady, hot and strong. So it is overcast. The lights are on. There's been a fair bit of rain around Sydney on the Kubota cast. For Kubota Together, we are shaping and building Australia, but hopefully the heavens won't open up this afternoon. I think there's a little bit of clear sky certainly coming through. Pickers, give us an unmissable moment quickly for Drink Wise. Choose to Drink Wise. You won't miss a moment if you drink Wise.
Well, it's an unmissable round because it's Indigenous round, and the unmissable moment today will be the Indigenous boys showing us what they can do, and there's some terrific players playing this afternoon.
Welcome everybody to the Sir Doug Nicholls round for 2022. My name is Luke Carroll. The Australian Football League, the GWS Giants and the West Coast Eagles football clubs invite you to join the players, coaches and umpires in welcoming Michael West from the Metropolitan Aboriginal Land Council to perform today's Welcome the Country.
Thank you, Luke. The round is named after Sir Douglas Nicholls, known as Doug Nicholls. He was a great man, a great human. Born in 1906 on Cumbragunja Mission, New South Wales. He was a Yorta man. He was Australian rules footballer, pastor, activist and governor. In 1938, along with Ferguson, he protested at Australian Hall in Sydney, where the Land Council actually owns and works. This place was a very special place. It has a very rich multicultural history from German, Greek, Italian, Chinese and other nationalities. Very important place when you think about, and very important person. In 1938 also, Aboriginal people were fighting for our rights. We weren't allowed off missions and reserves. It has changed, hasn't it, when we look around here. At that time in 1938, out of that came a 10-point plan. But also, later that year, a letter was sent to the Germans about the treatment of the Jews. What great people we had then and we have now, coming together, working together, walking together. This land we're on is the land of the Wongal and Barramadigal, the 2 clans meeting here, and we have 2 teams meeting here today. On behalf of Metropolitan Local Aboriginal Land Council, our members, our elders and our board, we welcome you here today. We want you to have a safe stay, a safe journey home to your family and loved ones. And we acknowledge all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander elders of the past, present and future. We can achieve great things when we respect each other, treat each other with dignity and have friendship, build relationships and partners. As came out of Redfern, always was, always will be, Aboriginal land never ceded. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael West. And that concludes our Welcome to the Country. Best of luck to both teams.
Yes, indeed, it is a great round. So Doug Nicholls round, which we've seen the pre-match sort of ceremony and acknowledgement of our great Indigenous culture across all 9 AFL games, spread across a couple of weeks as well, because we know, as we mentioned earlier, the Suns will be up in Darwin next week, also part of Sir Doug Nicholls' round. Signet powering the commentary team for the upcoming game. Stay tuned and charged with Signet. The ground update as Mark McVeigh just makes his way up to the coach's box for Climate and Day can keep warm this winter. Well, it's, as Matthew Knight said a little earlier, Pickers, it's a little bit chopped up with all the rain, but it's, I tell you, very green. I've never seen a ground greener.
It should be green at the moment. The amount of rain they've had in Sydney and New South Wales and also in Queensland, those grounds should be no shortage of rain on them, let's put it that way. But it should hopefully hold up pretty well and we don't get any showers this afternoon.
Who made the game easy as we reflect back to last night for Kennards High? They'll make your job easy. Talk to someone who has taken the Ken oath today.
Sure. Well, Max King for the Saints game.
Six straight, if you don't mind.
6 straight, and he did look like missing. And Shea Bolton for me. He's an exciting player, isn't he?
Oh, goodness. He's taken it to just 3 levels up from where he was. Extraordinary what he's doing. Week in, week out.
Yeah, I love his round. We celebrate his players. I actually wrote a list of players that I've played with and managed. Throughout they're actually over all the years I've been involved in footy.
Okay.
I'll read it out to you. Nice. Jim and Phil Cracker played with. Derek Kickett. He's at North. People forget that. Ronnie Burns and Ezra Bay at Geelong. And then the ones you managed, Leon Davis, Richard Cole, Chance Bateman, Buddy Franklin, Curtly Hampton, Jared Garlett, Jeff Garlett, Daniel Wells, Jed Anderson, Lindsay Thomas, Jace Burgoyne, Trent Burgoyne at the moment, Carl Amon, and Jared Oakley-Nichols. There's a lot there.
There's a lot there.
That you've been involved in with all these years. And I go back to when I was drafted, and the Cracker brothers were playing there. And then Derek came and left after a year. And then got to play with Ronnie, of course, for 5 or 6 years. So, yeah, no, it's great. You learn a lot about the culture when you're dealing with Indigenous boys all the time.
And I imagine you'd enjoy Pickers too, seeing where they go life after footy, because initially coming to the Big Smoke is quite daunting to come and leave their communities to have that opportunity to play AFL footy. Then they're on the scene. They have this burst of adrenaline for a period, and then what does life look like after footy?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and Andy Cracker's the other one, of course. Who's
done a bit of work with us here, and great to chat to.
So and the other Andy Cracker, there was another one at North I played with. I forgot about him.
Yes,
that's Jim and Phil's little brother. So the 2 Andy Crackers, one I manage still, Andrew. He's on Yockeye and he's done stuff with us, and then Andy Cracker is the younger brother of Jim and Phil who played at North a few games. So there you go, 22 of them.
Some matchups for
a team of champion, all very good players too.
They're an awesome part of the game. We love watching them, and some great characters amongst all that. I'm actually enjoying Sean Burgoyne, who not an easy transition to go into the media. Some do it
a good job
really naturally, and the man referred to as Silk, who was a star footballer, and now just getting his feet in, just honing his craft in the media. I think it's great to watch that evolvement as well.
Doing a great job, and he's doing well at Port Adelaide as well in his full-time role. So good on him. He's a champion player, that's for sure.
A couple of key matchups for South Australian Tourism Commission. Perfect for those who want a little more this winter.
Well, Taylor and in my view, it'll be Taylor and Hogan will be the 2 key forwards. So Sam Taylor. Taylor and Hogan. Taylor and Darling, I should say. Taylor and Darling. He's more of a lockdown player, Sam Taylor. And Jack Darling, we know he's the key player in their forward line.
Yeah, no doubt. Going to be a huge matchup today. Pickers is here for BuyMyStock.excess stock. Visit buymystock.com.au. Our pre-game is done for Thirsty Camel Bottle Shops. Answer the Camel's call. Thirsty Camel Bottle Shops and Beaumont Tiles Hybrid Flooring is now in store. So Mark McVeigh coaching the GWS Giants for the very first time. The Eagles, it's just been a really tough campaign. Can they find something on the road? Opening bounce for Tyre Power, tyre safety experts week in, week out. The start of a big Sunday of footy with the Hawks and the Lions, and of course Fremantle and Collingwood a little bit later on. So going to be Flynn to go up in the ruck as the Eagles try and extract this out to the wing. Nelson went to ground. He's surrounded by Giants as they pile in. He's wrapped up in the tackle, and he's going to be pinned here for not making a big enough attempt to get that footy out. So it'll be Tom Green to get an opening possession. He sends it slightly back. Kennedy.
It's for a crowd here, BP.
Iden, that's small. Hopefully they'll make some noise as the afternoon goes on. Iden sent it down to the wing, but chopped off here by Jack Darling.
Yeah, it's good to see him in the game early. Jack Darling. Sam Taylor right up the ground on that occasion. Good mark.
Works it up the line. Good mark taken here by Williams. So Williams to send the Eagles forward. Just hugging the boundary line with the kick. Long inside. Numbers at the back as that ball got out to Callan Ward. He was turning left and he turns right. Comes across his defensive goal and puts it down on the half volley just in the end. Went over the boundary line. Just couldn't quite find the target, but they do exit the back 60 here. The back 50, the Giants. So the opening part of this game, we're only a minute in on the Makita clock. Rule the outdoors. As the umpire tosses it back into play. He's Cripps, important player. At the top of the square with the kick. The umpire's blown a whistle here. Cummings taking the mark.
It's a holding free against Jack Darling. Yeah, look, they're severely outnumbered, though, didn't they, when they bring that ball in?
In short to Kennedy, who kicks it towards the half back to Jesse Hogan. He's looking for a runner going past. He wants someone to run around the back of him, not to be, so he's going to flare it wide. And the mark will be taken here by Riccardi. He's up on the wing for the Giants. So steady as she goes from the back half. The build-up so far here for GWS. As Riccardi will send this one towards the half forward. Trying to stick the tackle there was Green. Ball locks up here at half forward. Big Harry Edwards with some early touches. Big Dixon as well for the Eagles. There's quite a few young guys in this team who haven't played a lot of footy this year. Kick inside 50, going back with a flight. Great mark by Toby Green. So that ball came from the stoppage. And a first look at goal here for the Giants.
He's never took his eyes off the ball, Toby Green. He made that ball his own. No one's going to ever get a fist on that. Geez, he reads the game well, Toby. Only player that really went hard for it.
So a chance here for the opening score on the Robot Building Supplies scoreboard. Toby Green in game number 182. Through the 50 now. Can it hold its line? I reckon it will. It just swings inside that left goal post. And the Giants strike first on their home deck. And James Hurd with the headset on alongside Mark McVeigh, Dean Solomon. Once upon a time, that was a very, very nice representation of the Eston Footy Club. Yeah, it was Tom Green with the strength who got that ball inside 50 to Toby Green. The Greens combined. Giants won straight. Eagles yet to score.
Yeah, well, Tom Green, he had his work cut out last week. Cripps was everywhere, and yeah, he's a very good young player, Tom Green. But Toby, we know, is a star, absolute star.
We're here for Tyre Power. Buy 3, get 1 free on those selected Falcon tyres. So Doug Nichols round as the Giants go into a new phase of their existence with a new coach. We've only had the 2 coaches previous in their history, Kevin Sheedy and Leon Cameron, and an opportunity for Mark McVeigh across the next 13 weeks. So Flynn goes up against Williams. And then the umpire's blown a whistle here. There's been some contact. It'll be a Kelly free kick. He breaks from the middle. Quick spearing ball inside forward 50. Front of the pack, Jesse Hogan. He did the roving away to Toby Green, who's kicked another one. Right foot snap for a goal.
Well, there you go. It was a good contest because all the West Coast Eagles players flew for the mark. No one really went for a big aggressive spoil, and Hogan stayed down, got the handball across to Toby Green, and that's like shelling peas for Toby. You're never going to miss that. It round over the left shoulder. Yeah, they never tried to punch West Coast. They actually tried to mark.
Yep.
Yeah, that's one you've got to clear the area. That comes down to the very front. That's exactly where the forwards are going to be, and a lovely finish by Toby again.
Well, we're queued up there, the Giants, Hogan, and also Green on the Easy Debit replay. Join Easy Debit today. So off to a flyer here, the Giants, 2 straight. And we know the Eagles have just had a really, really tough year. Scoreboard's got away from them pretty quickly in the vast majority of their games. So Williams and Flynn to go at it again. Williams won the palm down. After it is Perryman at ground level. Kelly couldn't quite stick the tackle. Able to frout the arms. Getting through the traffic. Flynn nicely done to Perryman, who spreads it wide. On the burst is Bobby Hill. And he loves to take off, Bobby. Takes the bounce close to the boundary line. Got very close to the And attempting to smother, long inside to Hogan. Ground level ball, Witherden taken in the tackle by Anna Bruin. Ball stops about 25 out from the Giants goal. And once again, they're inside 50.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he bounced the ball then, Bobby Hill. If he had kept running, he didn't need to bounce it. He only ran about 3 strides. That sort of threw the forwards out a bit.
So Flynn's covering some ground, takes it out of the ruck. Kelly, they sweep a handball back. Now Tom Green, you'll kick their third.
Jeez, this is coming quick, isn't it?
It's ominous signs early. The Giants, with all the territory predominantly, and they're hitting the scoreboard 3 straight. The Eagles yet to score on the Robot Building Supply scoreboard. Robot's got it.
Yeah, you mentioned before the game how green the grass is. Well, 3 goals, and they're all kicked by Greens to start the game. 2 to Toby, and now 1 to Tom. And this is ominous. It doesn't look like there's a lot of pressure from the West Coast early. They're doing what they please. Look how much space he's got.
Yep. Well, he just steady there from 30 on a...
They're right into it too, aren't they? The Giants play. Oh, they're kissing each other now, these two.
Is this the new little celebration?
Is that right? Tom Green and
Bobby Hill. Love out there.
Giving each other a French... well, not a French kiss, but you know, they kiss on the cheeks, I mean. Yeah, a little kiss on each cheek.
I was married to an Italian.
That's how they do it. The Italians do it, don't they?
My brother-in-law, he came up and we...
That's how he gave me a kiss on the cheek.
He did. We didn't speak any English, but he gave me a couple of kisses. That was the introduction. Here on the ground is Kelly. Can't extract the footy out. Taken by Perryman. They'll go forward again. Not a great bounce. But it gets over the back to Toby Green, who runs into a brick wall. De Boer the gather.
Look at this. Look at the gas.
Now De Boer got another one by hand. That one out to the right-hand side for a behind. So De Boer was out, and then he came back into the team with the late outs yesterday. Adam Simpson coaching down on the bench today. 3-1-19, the Giants. West Coast yet to score. And the Eagles, a little short ball back into play to Witherden in the back pocket. So he'll attack the far side. He'll just work it up the line with the kick. Big fly Williams at the back.
Absolutely, it was a mark.
I think it's Steen, is it, I think? He took the mark.
Yep.
Not the required journey. So the Giants trying to build something here. So work it towards a half forward.
Brander?
It is Jared, the former Eagle, Jared Brander. Long ball inside forward 50. Flying at the back, Hogan, front position.
Had to be paid to Barris.
It's not been paid.
Barris.
So we've got a fair bit of purchase on that. Umpire has declared it a draw.
I thought that was a mark to Tom Barris.
Throw it up. 5 to 2 the inside 50s for Safety Steel Sheds. All bobbing around here. Jones trying to burst his way through and then taking it hard into the turf. There's a couple of Giants over the top.
Jermaine Jones.
One of those. So our players will dust themselves off. Another stoppage.
There are a couple of strong tackles early. Jones. Well on Toby Green, and then that one. It's all right.
Another stoppage here. That's going to be a free kick. Yeah, he's found it.
He's playing with some aggression. Jones, he's had 2 kicked on him in the first 5 minutes by Toby Green. That's his matchup. Yeah, certainly letting people know he's around. And gee, another shot at goal coming.
So a chance here for the Giants to inflict a little bit more pain in the opening quarter.
A bit of an undisciplined one, that one. This is Peatling.
Peatling, who's in for his 7th game. The infancy of his career. Good size at 185 centimetres. Should be able to convert from here. Plenty of the uprights to have a look at. And he'll do just that. It's 4 goals in the opening quarter for the GWS Giants. And we're a long way from the opening quarter being wrapped up. 4-1-25. The Eagles yet to score. Today's game brought to you by Bingley, Australian family owned for over 65 years.
Yeah, it was an undisciplined free kick really against Jermaine Jones. He's played with a bit of aggression, but on that occasion, the only thing that could have happened was a free kick. You can't attack from the front like that, clearly around the neck. A nice finish by. They've got a few that are off-Broadway type characters, haven't they? The Giants. Yeah, Peatling's one of them.
Yep.
You walk in here, you wouldn't know who he was. Yeah, he's only a new player, but 6 games. They've got a couple others that you look at and you think, oh yeah, heard of you. We don't really know much about you.
And there's going to be a few under a new coach are going to get a bit of a look in the last 13 games.
Well, they've got so many out today that we do get a good chance to look at some of these guys.
So nice start for Mark McVeigh in the caretaker role.
He's thinking, how easy is this? 4 goals.
Bit of sunshine's come out too. It was big Jamison trying to come over the top in the ruck for the Eagles. Kelly trying to palm it forward. Shuey lost his footing. Big kick went no journey at all. Tom Green flicks it out to Kelly. It's one of the worst we've seen from Kelly on the left.
He's in two minds there. He was go inside or outside. He went straight to the West Coast player.
Turned over the footy, is with it and went wide on that occasion looking for Waterman. Thumped away by Himmelberg and will have it tossed back into play. So opening quarter here on AFL Nation for Macca's. $6 small McChicken meal, cheeseburger on the My Macca's app. Get hold of that this afternoon wherever you're travelling around.
8 clearances to 1 at the moment in favour of the Giants.
Yeah, dominating on the safety steel shed stat sheet individually, team-wise.
I've got 9-1. Oh no, got it back here, West Coast.
Here's Kelly. Just sends a bit of a grubbing ball inside forward 50. That was the fumble by Taylor. Allows the Eagles in here. Flying shot by West. It goes right across the face of goal. And it tumbles into that left forward pocket. He took the handball from Paddy Naish. And a chance for the Eagles right next to their left point post for this ball to be tossed back into play.
They haven't had many entries, so make this count. But the problem is it's a stoppage, and at the moment it's around that straight in the air, the umpire. It's got about
very shallow boundary throwing. I saw that yesterday down Geelong. Shuey's just done the little the neck pivot.
He's done the bend at the knees.
He has. He's earned himself a free kick.
He's a beauty at it.
He and Joel Selwood.
Giles does it a bit differently, I reckon, than
a little bit,
that.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah, he hooks his arm and runs through. This Luke goes to ground and throws the head back.
It's been a tough period for Shuey. Just get any continuity into his footy for quite some time. Back in the team.
Look at that replay. It looked like a free kick to me.
No. As we've said, we've become accustomed to it. Anyway, he's converted. So the Eagles finally get a score on the board. One straight. The Giants 4-1-25. Robot Building Supplies scoreboard. Robot's got it.
Yeah, he's been a great player. Norm Smith medalist, of course, in their premiership. Wasn't that long ago either. What do you think of the free?
No, for me, that's not a free kick.
I don't think it was either. If he didn't throw his head back, the umpire would have played that on for sure. But he saw the reaction, so he called the free kick. But no, that wasn't a free. Anyway, it's a goal to the West Coast, and it's a badly needed one because the Giants have jumped right out of the blocks here.
So back in the middle we go. Giants with a lightning start. The Greens figuring on certainly the scoreboard early. Toby Green already with a couple. So it's going to be Jamison and Flynn to go at it in the ruck. Kelly's in there for the Eagles. Young West Shuey's in there as well. Jamison won the tap. Kelly was attacking it. Flynn's been busy in the air. Stalemate right in the middle of the ground. Ball stops.
Quite like Matt Flynn. I think he's a promising player.
Yeah.
He can take a mark. He can kick a goal when he goes forward, and he's competitive.
Got a real opportunity. Bruce going out of the team, so you always like to see that next line be eager. They get their opportunity to mount a case to stay in the team.
It's against the Giants for a throw here. They've all gone the other way, though, so West will collect the free.
So Connor West with the flowing locks going to come out of the middle here. Going to get back-to-back goals, the Eagles, and just stay around a quarter time. Long inside 50. Front of the pack. Here's Cripps with the snap. He does know how to score a goal. He's got the penetration and the accuracy. Welcome back, Jamie Cripps. He's been a goal scorer right across his career. Hampered in the pre-season with injury, taken a while to get back, and was in doubt, as Matthew Knight said, for this week, but he's made a rapid recovery, and the Eagles have kicked a couple here, 2 straight. The Giants 4-1-25.
He's in that much doubt that he's not even on my team sheet.
Correct.
Anyway, well, better add him. It was a nice snap.
Had to ride him in. Very late inclusion. Made the separate flight. Had that leg infection, which has made a rapid recovery this week, and that right foot worked beautifully. Got some real journey on that from 40.
Didn't he get some purchase on it? Didn't look like he hit it that well, but hit the right side of the ball. And good, nice little comeback this from the West Coast. A couple of quick goals in response.
Adam Kennedy, the direct matchup there for Jamie Cripps. So Canelio and Shuey going head-to-head in the middle. There's some experience right at the foot of this footy. Kelly's in there for the Eagles as well, trying to work to Shuey, trying to find some room. Canelio stuck the tackle. West is hunting it. Shuey's back after it again. Jamis, a little give. Back to West, who rolls one inside forward 50.
Well done,
couldn't quite shark it. Taylor, though, was strong, but it might be coming back because They sent it straight down the throat of Rotham, who will go back inside. Top of the square kick here for the Eagles. Can they pluck a mark? Ground level ball. Was it coming? Almost the tackle. And then Cripps was able to gather on the right boot, and he's kicked another one, Jamie Cripps. Back-to-back goals with a right foot snap. Blown out of the water early, the Eagles, and they've kicked 3 on the trot. In a real reversal here at Giants Stadium. 3 straight 18, the Giants 4-1-25. Robot Building Supplies scoreboard. Robot's got it.
Well, very lucky not to be a throw against the West Coast forward there. He basically just passed the parcel. You can't do that. I think it was Kelly. Anyway, it was a throw, I thought, but the umpire played it on. A great snap by Cripps, who's thinking, I'm glad I made this trip now. I've kicked 2 within 5 minutes of each other. The 7 goals have been kicked inside. We're not even halfway through the first quarter.
Yep.
Becoming a shootout, BP.
Tell you what, that's what we want. We want a close game. We want a shootout. That's all we ask for on a Sunday afternoon. We put in the order between 2 teams that have genuinely battled this year.
3 wins between them out of 18 matches.
Jamison won the tap. Shuey was able to get the crumb. Goes forward again. High ball towards the half forward. The Eagles looking to gather here. West, who handballs on. They get busy at ground level. They look hungry. The tackle there, that occasion from young Ware, who's in the team for his first game, the 23-year-old who honed his craft over in the Sandful at Woodville, West Torrens. So the last 5 clearances on the safety steel shed stat sheet going the way of the Eagles. Have been able to get some territory. West again, who's getting some touches. Right foot snap around the corner, deep into the pocket. Darling and also Taylor and some acrobatics. Or at a different venue, different sport on that occasion. Ball goes out of bounds for a boundary throw-in.
So his martial arts background there, Jack Darwin. Just a very theatrical way to get up off the ground.
You're auditioning for post-footy, Jack.
Ninja.
He's Cripps, little handball. Darling gets involved again. Thumped away by Cumming. Ball bobbing around here. Tanner Bruin was able to throw it on the boot here for the Giants. Jesse Hogan, nice little launch over the top. Thanks to hangytv.com.au, contender. He goes to...
I think it's Stein.
It is Stein. Him and Peatley were really similar with the moustaches. Inside 50 kick. They've spread it nicely. Here, the GWS Giants. Really measured going in. De Boer has taken the mark inside 50.
Matty De Boer, what a story he is. He has been in the system for a long, long time. He's played 220 games. I don't know how many times they've tipped him out, but he's still on the list. He's still playing. He's like that Sam Reid.
That's a 22 you could name. The guys that have just
Life
found
members.
a way to survive.
Life members, good on him. He's been an important player too. He's played some big roles.
So kick 4, they've had 3 against. This one to steady the ship. It's a pretty good kick off the boot, just inside that right goalpost for Matt De Boer. And the Giants kick their 5th of the opening quarter. Still 10 to play on the Makita clock rule, the outdoors. 5-1-31, the Eagles 3 straight 18 here on AFL Nation.
It was a great transition, a terrific contested mark by Hogan. He got it on to Stein. Stein's kick was a beauty. They opened up their forward line. The next kick was an absolute belter. That was Peatling that kicked it. Straight to De Boer, who'd found space inside 50 and no trouble from 45 metres.
Yeah, nice conversion there on the Easy Debit replay. Simple Payment Solutions join Easy Debit today. So 8 goals between these 2 teams in the opening quarter.
And plenty more to come. We're only halfway through.
Still 10 minutes of game time in the opening quarter. This GWS game brought to you by Bingley, Australian family owned for over 65 years. So Williams is in the ruck now. Come over the top of Flynn, trying to follow up his works. The tackle there was pretty good on Perryman, who was just able to get his hands out. Bruin on hands and knees. Handballs back into traffic. And Kennedy seemed to take some high contact from Cripps. So the umpire darts and he'll throw this one up. Just outside 50 for the Eagles. Here's Flynn.
He took the tackle.
Running into trouble.
He took the tackle. He's very lucky not to give away a free kick there. I think that Luke Shuey tackle was a belter.
Yeah, Brandon ran straight into him, so the umpire quickly darted in. He'll toss it up. Williams won the tap. Sharked here by Gaff. We haven't really caught him in the opening quarter. And it was to Alex Witherden that didn't seem clear at all.
No, it was just a poor option.
And coming from I think young Clark.
Young Greg Clark, yeah, he's a young player, but you've got to be your teammates' eyes. You can't handball into his trip to make him, put him in all sorts of trouble.
Bruin, Kelly, Brander, they've broken here from the stoppage. Done nicely. Bobby Hill wants to play on quickly for the Giants. Nice little hit up to Hogan, who's on the wing. Next target at half forward is a hot ball for Riccardi. Beautifully marked out in front of the eyes.
Got a long option on.
And Riccardi will go towards the top of the square. Toby Green's down there, and Flynn has flown beautifully from the side.
Big Harold.
He's covering some ground, the big man. He's been found in the back half, doing all the work in the middle, and he's drifting forward to good effect.
They had a couple of mismatches down there, actually, because the players they had down trying to cover the taller players were only small, midfielders, really. So the high ball was a good option. And Flynn pushed his way down. Williams nowhere to be seen, and he's normally a good kick.
Yeah, 3 goals straight this year, and this one, 25 out, directly in front.
No, he's missed it. I reckon you're being generous with 25 metres. I think that was 15 metres out.
I don't know if we could have just spelled out a more impressive resume this year in front of goal, and he's butchered it. 5-2-32, the Giants. The Eagles, 3 straight 18. The kick in for the Eagles. Grand level ball, Kelly. Had it back. I just couldn't quite take clean possession here. The Giants, and it goes the Eagles' way. Here's Connor Iden coming through with a handball. Only went as far as West. He avoided the traffic nicely. Across to Nelson. Just the required distance.
Yep, good option this. And a short on again.
Witherden will kick it towards half forward. Gaff's on the end of it. Good build up so far. Now the inside 50 kick. They try and get right the Eagles. They lower the eyes. It's a good ball inside. And the mark is taken here by young Winder.
Yeah, it was actually terrific little play by Winder. He led back towards the goal, then he ducked back. Waited until he had eyes with Andrew Gaff, who was looking for a short. He was too far out. He just spotted up in front of him. Nice little bit of play by the West Coast.
So looking for his first goal in league footy. WA boys spent all the time at Peel Thunder. That one out to the right-hand side for a behind. First blemish for the Eagles, 3-1-19. The Giants 5-2-32. Robot Building Supplies scoreboard. Still 7.5 minutes to play on the Makita clock in this opening quarter. Brett Phillips and Liam Pickering at Giants Stadium. Overcast day and a lot of rain around Sydney. As Isaac Cumming comes right up the middle of the ground. McGovern went the spoil. Williams trying to palm it back in the direction of the Eagles. Taken by Tom Green, who lifted the arms above the shoulders. Ward runs into all sorts of trouble. Hot footy to win here. West a little fumble, and it fell back into the hands of Kellen Ward, who was wrapped up in the tackle there by young Clark. So umpire quickly in to toss it up. Williams got a touch to it. Hot little give by hand to Kelly. Gee, beautiful pick-up on the half volley round the shoelaces by Jesse Hogan. Inside 50 with the kick. Rotham went the spoil. Foot race on towards the boundary line. Witherden. Toby Green giving chase. Gaff under all sorts of pressure. Taken down by Bobby Hill in the tackle. They're under siege here. They turn it over. Now the opportunity for Brander on the right foot. Beautiful snap. And they just brought the pressure there, the Giants, inside attacking 50. They couldn't get it out, the Eagles. And they've got a couple of steadies here. 6-2-38 to 3-1-19.
It was the pressure, though, wasn't it? Firstly, Bobby Hill. Toby Green got the ball rolling. Brander was involved himself and then got it back, and a lovely snap across the body from 35 metres. He was such a promising junior, Jared Brander. He hasn't quite got to the level I thought he would. Terrific young cricketer too. Bowled with a bit of heat.
Right.
Yeah, bowled with a bit of heat. There was talk when he was coming through that he bowled 150 k's an hour. I said, that wouldn't be happening. He's a Geelong grammar. Bowling 150. I said, I highly doubt that. Yeah. I asked his uncle and he said, yeah, about 130. 150, Brett Lee style.
So every time they've gone inside 50, the Giants have scored. 6-2 their return from the 8 inside 50s. It's 8 apiece at the moment. Kelly will break from the stoppage. Away to Cornelio. Takes a bounce. Got a bit of meterage in front of him that's clear. It wasn't a beautiful... It didn't look like it was going to be a beautiful kick off the boot, but it's found Matt de Boer. It looked like he just shanked it a little.
He did.
Well, I'll have another look at that.
No, he's kicked it off the inside of his foot, but it actually swung back the other way.
The easy debit replay.
Yeah, he didn't kick it right, but it got there perfectly
it looked
anyway.
Good, though. Spun beautifully, but...
for their 7th.
hit the target in De Boer. I think the first 4, as mentioned, the Giants. Eagles the next 3, and then the next 3 for the GWS Giants. 2 for De Boer. And a 7-goal opening quarter for the home team. Goals are plenty. 7-2-44 the Giants. The Eagles 3-1-19 for Robot Building Supplies.
They're getting them easy, though. That's the problem. Look, you have a look at Steve Canelio. He's looking across his body. Well, he got it perfectly where he wanted it. Didn't look like it off the boot, but it might have been. I think it was a bit off the instep, but certainly got to where his intended target was. And quickly, too. Let's put it this way, it wasn't quite the kick that we saw yesterday from Kane Farrell.
Oh, no.
That was a sizzler.
No, nothing will match that. Nothing will match that this round. So De Boer with a couple of goals in the first quarter.
They've got some celebration sort of fizz going on, haven't they?
This is just a Sir Doug Nicholls round sort of...
No, I think they've been doing it for a while.
Okay. Back in the middle. Jamison and Flynn.
A bit of fun.
Flynn on hands and knees. Perryman. Good little handball away to Tom Green. Almost missed his boot.
Oh, that's too high.
He was a little high over the shoulder there in his attempt to try and make up for the missed kick. Advantage paid here for the Eagles. Kelly inside 50. Darling got hands to it. Then the cavalry comes. Young Ware with a good turn of speed in his first game away to Kennedy. Nice little hit up to Josh Kelly, who launches a handball over the top to Iden. Canelio just corralled inside the boundary line, so he's forced him to go back here all the way back to full back. It's a dangerous kick, but it's found Sam Taylor in the big switch now across their defensive goal to open up the other side of the ground. Young Ware with the left foot finds Kellen Ward. So they've changed the angles. Now they're going to come inboard, the Giants.
Yeah, the next handball's going to be interesting.
Mark taken by Brander.
They've got a player in the middle of the ground. He wasn't looking, though.
Brander away to Kennedy.
Josh Kelly.
Right foot towards half forward. Going back with the flight for the Eagles was Witherden. And he'll get that over the boundary line for a boundary throw-in. For Snaffle, bite-sized payments win.
Yeah, did really well. Haven't seen much of McGovern, have we?
Been quiet.
Very quiet.
Well, Tom Green's had the 7. Josh Kelly's had the 7. Perryman's 7. Jesse Hogan, some good early touches, was 6. Young West has had most for the Eagles was 6. Cripps has had 5. A couple of goals. Stein back now to Kelly from the stoppage. Kelly's inside 50 kick here. A couple of Eagles almost take each other out. McGovern under a bit of pressure. Able to release the handball. Harass Nelson. And now Liam Duggan on his left will exit defensive 50. And a one-on-one battle here. It's a hold on Jack Darling, so it's gone against Himmelberg in that one-on-one contest. Still 4 minutes on the clock to play. 25-point lead to GWS.
He's a long way up the ground, Jack Darling, though, isn't he? This is their issue, is the next kick. So he's going to have to work it short because there's no one back. They've got loose defenders here, the Giants.
Gone in short to Nelson.
I'm talking with the bench because the clock would say 30 minutes. There's been a lot of goals kicked. We're all worried how long there is to go in the quarter. There's still 4 minutes.
Nelson with a high ball. Darling the target. Taylor starts the mop up. Actually taken out of the hands there of Ward. So West Coast trying to bring some heat inside. Attacking 50. Green under all sorts of pressure. Taken by Williams. He's hot. Handball gave the Eagles no chance to clear there. And it was Keely over the top with the wraparound tackle. And the ball stops just outside 50 here for the Eagles. So Williams with the palm down. Actually, nice turn of speed there from O'Halloran. It's a hot little handball. He's back after it again, trying to get through the traffic. He's going to be penalised here.
West Coast free.
They couldn't get clear, though.
Couldn't get in quick.
Going at breakneck speed, but they brought the pressure to the Eagles. Shuey inside 50.
And a good mark.
Look at Monty.
Big streak.
Big Dixon.
Big Huey Dixon. Gone. Lovely kick by Shuey. He moved it on quickly, and Dixon got his big frame in front. He's a big man. What is he, 197, 100 kicks? You had to get around a bloke that size.
From Tassie to the west.
Nice mark.
Big Hugh Dixon, a little bit of strapping around that left knee. Let's see if he can convert here.
Got a baby face, hasn't he?
Just a couple of goals in his career. He's a left footer. And that one has snuck in with a nice little bit of bend right to left. And the Eagles just trying to stay around the mark, and they're doing a pretty good job of it. 4-1-25, 7-2-44 for the Giants. And we see
Shuey's been real important.
A good tackle there by Shuey.
Very important, Luke Shuey, early in this match. With a lovely kick on the back of a great tackle by himself. And then the quick transition. And well done, Big Huey. Poked it home. He's playing his 8th game.
Converted beautifully. Around the grounds for Kangan Institute. 1-3 TAFE. It'll be Hawthorn and Brisbane getting underway pretty soon. Fremantle and Collingwood a little bit later on.
Give them a chance, Brisbane. Hawthorn, I should say, to beat Brisbane.
I've just got a feeling today, yeah.
They beat them last year down there.
Yeah. And
Brisbane should win.
They've lost their last 4, Hawthorn, but gee, amongst that, played some pretty good footy.
They have.
Williams won the tap. It was Hill who was able to shark it. Then a really strong tackle for the Eagles by Redden. Just gets a stop here as that ball crept forward. Out of the centre circle. Approaching half forward here for the Eagles. I'd love to pull another one back here. Williams won the tap. Kelly's after it. Stein was right down there with him. Taken by Williams. Away to Duggan. Duggan with the inside 50 kick. It was wide. Gives Dixon a real pursuit there by foot. And he couldn't quite reel it inside the boundary line. We'll have it tossed in. Once again, the Eagles are inside. They're +1 in that category. Inside 50s 11-10 for Safety Steel Sheds.
So at least they've got the game on their terms a bit more in the back part of this game.
Ball tossed back into play. Williams had front position. Redden, strong work there by Ward. He's opposite number 8. Halloran just worried off the footy. It's hot in the clinches here, and the Eagles with a good work ethic around half forward just to get that out of bounds and reset again from the boundary throw-in. 19-point lead for the Giants in this opening quarter. Still over 2 minutes to play. Williams got front position there in the ruck contest. Redden. And here the appeal of the Giants fans wanting a little bit of high contact. Umpire says, I won't have a bar of that. Bobby Hill, the last one to get up here for the Giants. Williams on the tap. Kelly after it. Taken down by Kelly. It's a stalemate.
Josh Kelly's had a dozen possessions. Started really well. All the leading possession winners at Giants players at the moment.
Running hot for Reams. Steady, hot and strong. Here's Nelson from the stoppage. Just a high up and under. He tries to palm it forward. Taken here by Ward, who clears defensive 50. Just got on the boot quickly. It'll trickle towards the boundary line here. How the umpire adjudicate. He says deliberate.
Boy, oh boy. He was second guessing himself then, you know. He wasn't going to call. He wasn't going to play that.
It took a while, didn't it? I think there's some communication between the umpires because it was a very delayed sort of reaction. Barassa will put it back towards half forward. Flying high coming. Couldn't quite complete the mark. Grand level ball here now for the Giants. Josh Kelly on the non-preferred right, if you don't mind, finds Cornelio.
You're saying they're going upstairs and being told, yeah, pay that, don't pay this?
It was sort of a delayed reaction.
It was,
he
definitely.
Was looking towards the other umpire as well. So Cornelio's got a 50 here. I'm sure there's a little bit of level just approaching the area. We'll try and get a look at that on the easy debit replay.
Green was on short. He's missed it.
Just over a minute remaining to quarter time. Cornelio's going to put the Giants inside forward 50 again. One for the high flyers. Up went Riccardi. Grand level ball for Tom Green. O'Halloran didn't hit the ball with the handball, and that allows the Eagles in. McGovern away to Cripps. Already with a couple of goals. Now covering it down back. Didn't quite clear the area. It was a 2-on-1 that favoured the Giants. Cumming was able to get the loose ball inside 50. There he is, the big interceptor. Jeremy McGovern takes the mark for the Eagles.
A big unit, isn't he, Jeremy McGovern? Such a great reader of the game. We heard Matty Knights before the game singing his praises.
Takes up his allocation of time and just goes the percentage. Kick coming flying from the side. Takes a nice mark. Still a chance here for the Giants as he works it back in towards the middle of the ground. There's a runner coming past. Ward, 55 from home, sinks the slipper into this one, deep towards full forward at the back. Riccardi was flying. Green's in the area. The Eagles will get it through for a behind.
Toby Green was sweating there, saying, if this pops out, it's game over. I'll snag this.
So this should be the last play before quarter time. McGovern, I just want to go the percentage kick here from deep in defence. He'll just chip one into the back pocket to Waterman. So the quarter time siren about to blow here. It's been an entertaining quarter for two teams that have won 3 games combined this year. They've combined for an 11-goal opening term. The Giants 7-3-45. The Eagles 4-1-25. We'll come back with all the numbers after the break. Brett Phillips alongside Liam Pickering will go, of course, around the grounds throughout the afternoon for Kangan Institute. 1-3 TAFE, Hawthorn and Brisbane, Fremantle and Collingwood. A lot to come on your Sunday. It is the Giants lead here by 20 points at quarter time.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for Tyre Power. Save on Kumo. Store-wide super sale now on.
Kane has a carpentry business. His challenge to renew his public liability insurance for less than his old policy. On your marks, get set.
Yeah, I just did it.
What?
Yeah, I went online to BizCover. Took 5 minutes. I compared a bunch of policies. I saved over $250.
So, no dramas?
No dramas at all.
There are literally no dramas when you go to BizCover, the business insurance specialists. Save time, money, and get instant cover at bizcover.com.au.
If World Whisky Day has you inspired to level up your whiskey game, Hairy Dog is the better way to buy alcohol. Online, in your own time. Right now, save up to 40% on over 500 whiskies from all around the world at hairydog.com.au. Plus, delivery the very next day for metro areas with free shipping and 10% off your first order. From select single malts to balanced blends. Explore a wide range of rare drops from home at Hairy Dog. Order online at hairydog.com.au. Drink responsibly, Afterpay and ZipPay available.
Hey, Nick Del Santo here. I played over 300 games in the AFL, but I still remember my first game as a rookie. Back then, I needed all the advice I could get. So, if you're after an apprenticeship and need the same kind of expert help, don't go past MEGT. MEGT is Australia's largest and only national apprenticeship network provider, making them your true local apprenticeship experts. With MEGT, a winning career could be yours. So check out their free job board today. Visit MEGT.com.au or call 13MEGT.
Safety Steel, time to get real.
Tim Watson here. Can you remember as a kid painting goals on the side of your dad's shed and shooting for goals day after day? Well, they built them tough back then, just like the sheds from Safety Steel. For prefab steel kit buildings and custom designed sheds that are tough and durable, search Safety Steel. For your dream shed, search Safety Steel.
Safety Steel, time to get real.
Imagine the thought of innovation at your fingertips, accelerating with efficiency and power. Imagine a bold, striking design with the comfort and confidence of advanced safety tech. Imagine where you could go in a Hyundai SUV. An SUV range with enough style, tech, and performance to turn your imagination into reality. So if you're thinking SUV, think Hyundai SUV. Discover yours at hyundai.com.au.
Hello, bank.
Hi, I've been a customer with you guys for ages and I see you're advertising lower rates than what I'm on.
And your point?
I'm paying more than new customers.
That's the loyalty penalty.
Seriously? I'm being penalised for being loyal?
Your loyalty is worth a lot to us.
Then why am I paying thousands more a year in interest?
As I said, it's worth a lot to us. Gotta go. New customers waiting on the line.
Athena's the only lender that rewards your loyalty, not charges for it. See how much that can save you at athena.com.au. Athena, love us and leave us. Standard credit criteria, terms, conditions and government charges apply.
Respect is calling out your mate's sexist jokes.
Respect is equal pay on and off the field.
Respect is championing equality in sport. Respect is working together to prevent violence against women.
When all women are respected, everyone wins.
Respect women. Call it out. Search Respect Victoria to learn more.
A message from Respect Victoria and the Victorian Government.
Still hunting around for incredible value? Ditch the magnifying glass and check out the Kogan Money credit card. There's no annual fee, plenty of tantalising rewards, and if you meet the spend requirements, you could earn $400 in credit to spend on Kogan.com. So go on and make the switch to a better great value credit card at koganmoney.com.au/radio.
Offer ends May 31. T's and C's credit criteria, other fees and charges apply. Product issuer and credit provider Citigroup Pty Ltd.
You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation for Beaumont Tiles. Hybrid flooring in store now.
50. Front of the pack, Jesse Hogan. He did the roving away to Toby Green, who's kicked another one. Right foot snap for a goal.
Well, there you go.
Long inside 50. Front of the pack. He's Cripps with the snap. He does know how to score a goal. He's got the penetration and the accuracy. Welcome back, Jamie Cripps.
Maccas, I'm loving it moments. Order via the My Maccas app and start earning today.
Quarter time at Giant Stadium. It is the home team 7-3-45 leading the West Coast Eagles 4-1-25. De Boer and Toby Green with the 2 goals apiece in the opening quarter. Tom Green also slotted one home, as did Peatling and Miranda. And for the West Coast Eagles, Jamie Cripps, first game back for the year with a couple of goals. Luke Shuey also amongst the action. Dixon also with a goal. The young man wearing number 41. The voice of Liam Pickering, our expert, of course, for buymystock.com.au with some thoughts on the opening 30 minutes, Pickers.
Well, it was quite an enjoyable first quarter because 11 goals kicked, and the Giants got their goals a little bit easier than West Coast is, but I thought West Coast in the second part of that quarter were pretty good.
AFL Nation for Icon Services, commercial cleaning and integrated property solutions. We love having them on board. We get underway for a big second quarter for Tyre Power. Your match day favourites for tyre safety. So Jamison and Flynn to resume their battle in the ruck. Flynn's had a very good opening quarter here. Shuey got the clearing kick for the Eagles. Sitting underneath it at the drop. He read it beautifully. It was West.
He's a real goer, isn't he, this bloke?
And had a good opening quarter. Had some really, really good touches. I feel like he's just been everywhere. He's had 6 in the opening term for Safety Steel Sheds.
He just really works hard. 3 of those contested, so he gets him underneath the ball, underneath the packs.
So looking to kick his first ever goal in league footy. Runs on the right arc, trying to get the left to right, but it's going to hang out to that left-hand side for a behind to start the second quarter. Athena Homeline scoreboard. 4-2-26, the Eagles, the Giants, 7-3-45.
He was one of those replacement players, wasn't he, that came in on the West?
Yep.
He's done all right too.
So Himmelberg to come out of his defensive goal square. He's gone the barrel.
Jeez, it's gone to the centre.
Right towards the middle. Barras with the double fist and brought it to ground.
Well done.
Attacking it nicely. Heatling inside forward 50 here for the Giants. Rolling ball into the pocket. Duggan leads Toby Green. And lays it off to Witherden. Dangerous kick. He was coming up the corridor and headed to purchase and he'll win himself a free kick is Barras. So the Eagles get out of that little squeeze. And in deep in defence. We'll work this one out to Jones, who runs outside defensive 50. Nice ball over the top. Bailey Williams, a little fresh air. He went right through his hand. Should have swallowed that mark. And Cumming comes across. And going on with it here with young Winder. A little physicality between those two, and they dust themselves off. And we'll have a boundary throw in. What about the barrel from Himmelberg on the easy debit replay?
He's kicked it about 70 metres.
That was a beauty. In the middle. More of that. Flynn won the palm down. Tom Green strong over the footy. Away to Perryman by hand. As he kicks towards half forward. Half volley. Tough one there for Hogan. And Barras was right on his hammer. And goes off hands out of bounds. Giants are at half forward for a boundary throw in. It has certainly built as this game has gone on. The diehard Giants fans who have had a lean year following their team. But the bigger picture of things have had plenty to like across their first decade plus in the competition, making a grand final and some prelims. But this is a different little phase now to build again. And it's happening under a new coach. They're busy at half forward. Toby Green gets involved by hand. High ball towards half forward. Hill was going for a big fly. So was Hogan in the middle of all that. And Hogan has pulled down the mark. Gee, they were flying high there. Bobby Hills wanted a piece of it, Pickers, and Jesse said, head out of my little aerial zone if you don't mind.
He did. It was a great fly by Bobby Hill, but it was the big man who was in front who was paid the mark.
Bobby, it was on the shoulders at the back. Right to take mark of the year. Jesse Hogan should be bread and butter from here. It is. So the Giants kick the first of the second quarter. On the Athena Home Loan scoreboard, you can pay down your home loan faster with Athena Home Loans. 8-3-51 GWS. The West Coast Eagles 4-2-26.
Would have been a spectacular mark if Hogan wasn't there. I think Bobby would have got it. Got a great ride on the back of Jeremy McGovern.
Yep.
But Hogan put his big mitts up in front and said, I'll take that. Thanks, Bobby. You did the stuff on the ground.
Get in my area.
And a nice finish.
Safety steal shed, stat shed. So Kelly's had the 13, Perryman's had the 12, Tom Green's had the 10. Hogan, with another goal on the board, has had the 7 disposals.
Brought up his 200th goal. Jesse Hogan, his career.
Number 106, so a little milestone for Jesse Hogan. Just always on the search for just some continuity in his footy. Jamison won the tap down. Kelly trying to shark it. Able to free up the arms. Back to Jamison. He's wrapped up in the tackle by De Boer, and they're still pretty much in the heart of Giants Stadium. And by quickly in Flynn and Jamison. It's a good battle in the ruck. Jamison trying to follow up a little palm. Redden a tough one to take. And fumble Kelly. Winder trying to get it to Tim Kelly. He did. Nelson. Now the run of Jones, who came from behind off half back. Kick inside forward 50. Hot one for Williams. And then Taylor was able to gather. Himmelberg took it from Kennedy. Iden got involved in a little chain. Then they're under pressure. They brought some heat. Cripps with a really good tackle was able to strip water the footy, and then it went into the hands of Jermaine Jones, and he got pinned for holding the ball in the end. It was bobbing around there. So Halloran's ball. So he just dragged dead in the tackle, Jones. And the Giants will start again the build-up from the back half. The ball in the hands of Adam Kennedy. 25 points their lead. Little chip, only about 20 metres, keeps it fairly central to Himmelberg, playing in defence. We'll chip another short one towards half-back. Nicely done there by Peatling. He'll kick it towards half-forward. Riccardi got up, took a nice mark. A little bit of hang time for Riccardi. Trying to really stake a claim in the second half of the year. Long ball down towards full forward. Going to ground. Hogan, was there a free kick? It will be against Barras.
Yeah, a bit of front-on contact against Tom Barras. And he's saying, what will I actually do? Well, it's a free kick, unfortunately, Tom. He took your eye off the ball. You assaulted him from the front. And Jesse Hogan should just pop this through. I don't know why he's going. I thought he was going to go around the corner. He's 15 metres out, so he shouldn't have too many issues for back-to-back goals.
So coming up for his 8th disposal, having an impact, Jesse Hogan was a good quick ball in, which put pressure on the Eagles defenders. And this is what you're in the team for, Pickers, to kick these goals as a forward. He gets the skip up, shouldn't be missing from there, and he doesn't. So back-to-back goals for Jesse Hogan. They pull away again here, GWS. Athena home line scoreboard 9-3-57. The Eagles 4-2-26.
The minute you take your eye off the ball, the umpire's going to be looking at that. And that's what he did. Tom Barras didn't do a lot wrong. Just pushed him from the front. Yep. When you're looking at the player that you're against, he's the key forward, you're going to be giving away that free kick every day of the week. And Jesse's got back-to-back goals.
It's one of those guys, is the Jesse Hogan. I mean, if you're just coming to the footy and you love the game, he's a sort of guy that you just love watching. He has impact. I mean, we just, unfortunately,
we've never seen the best of him, have we?
No, across 3 different clubs and injuries and some time away from the game for personal reasons. But he has impact when he plays. Flynn, Williams over the top, nice little palm down. Halloran was coming off the square, couldn't take it cleanly. Williams fed it back. Tim Kelly gets involved. Witherden now back to Gaff, spreads it towards half forward. It's a good ball here for the Eagles, who trying to get it. It will get to West in the end because there was a little fumble there by the Giants, and he hits up Waterman with the pass. So Waterman just inside the boundary line. He's a touch outside 50. He can open up the angle on that right side. With a chance to get the Eagles their first goal of this second quarter.
A good kick from here.
53 goals from his 62 games for Jake Waterman. He'll pretty much run the straight line to goal here. I tell you what, the connect is superb. As soon as it struck the boot from Waterman, it was a sweet kick. And he kicked that with some conviction. We'll give that a goal of the game for host plus. That's a plus. Nice little ball in from West, and he did the finishing. 5-2-32 the Eagles, the Giants 9-3-57 Athena home loan scoreboard.
Had a great sound, didn't it, when it hit the boot? A real thud. Real thump. Bang. Never looked like this. He's kicked that from basically where the 50 joins the boundary.
Yeah.
A thumping kick.
Great connection today where we just sort of pondered where the goals would come from. So Cripps comes back into the team. Waterman gets an opportunity down deep with Jack Darling. With no Kennedy, no Oscar Allen, and a few other smalls missing out of the Eagles' front half. Williams up against Flynn again. Flynn will get the ground level ball. Stripped of it, and he's going to be penalised here.
Yeah, good tackle by West.
He did nicely, and he plays on quickly. Runs a few metres. Inside 50 kick, right down towards the square. Jack Darling was at ground level. Now he's trying to do the roving. Almost took Cripps out of the picture. Eyes for the footy only. Iden gave it away by hand. Waterman stripped of the footy by Brander, who then goes back and strips Brander of the footy. And then Williams with a big tackle for the Eagles. They bring the heat to try and lock things up.
They're saying a dangerous tackle.
And it was just the last bit of that tackle.
We picked him up, he slung him, so it's probably there.
It'll be a Giants ball. Kennedy to Himmelberg to De Boer. Back to the run of Kennedy, who's put the foot down at half-back. Looping handball to Canelio. Sweeping handball by Kelly. Build up good to this stage. Inside 50 kick. Finds Toby Green. I think it was off the boot of Brander. And Toby Green in two minds is getting himself into unnecessary trouble here. Toby's almost had a fresh airy. And it's back in the hands of the Eagles now. As Rotham took it from Witherden all towards Darling. Nice little give by hand to the run of Waterman. Little chip towards half forward. And the ball in the hands of Cripps. Little short ball to Nelson. No, it's Dixon. My apologies.
Big Huey. Got nothing on long.
So Dixon is outside 50. He's just going to pop it up towards the hot spot here. Flying high was Flynn. Ground level ball for Cumming. And that'll be Adam Kennedy, who'll turn back boundary side with the percentage kick that clears defensive 50. Be Redden in pursuit of a loose footy.
Did well.
Edwards. Now back to Dixon. Little short balls. The Eagles keep it in their front half. Trying to convert here. A little short ball to Nelson. Nelson's just outside the 50 arc at right half forward.
The numbers back for GWS though.
Yeah, you've got to try and cut through that defensive maze. He just pops it up to the hot spot. Darling went the fly. Couldn't take the mark. Flynn trying to extract a little kick. Dixon wrapped up by Himmelberg and taken into the turf with the tackle. Ball stops 30 out from the Eagles' goal.
He's looked pretty comfortable in defence, Himmelberg.
He has.
Well, how long have they put him back there for? It's been a couple of weeks. It's the first time I've ever seen him play back line.
Yeah, I think just the last, I can't think which game that was activated. Certainly nice part of Leon Cameron's tenure. And they've managed to work it off half back here to De Boer. De Boer will just chip a little short ball to Steen at half back. So 25-point lead. The Giants have that on the scoreboard. Cut it through. A group of players there to Perryman. He lowers the eyes. Good ball inside 50. Finds De Boer. So De Boer has hit the scoreboard in this.
He's looking for a wraparound
opening half. He is. He knows he might just be out of his range here.
He'll take his best kick. He's going to kick it from outside 50.
2 goals from his 7 disposals so far. Matt De Boer sucks in the deep breaths and takes up the full allocation of time here. Let's see how he can get some purchase on this footy. No, he's just going to chip it in short, unmanned.
Slack.
To Peatling.
Yeah, it was pretty sloppy by the West Coast defence. Allow a player that just didn't look comfortable from 55. Yeah, so he's always going to look for the short, and just one happened to pop up. Peatling.
So Peatling looking for his second goal of the game. Unmanned inside 50. Plenty of the uprights to have a look at here. This to stretch the margin out to 31 points. As Peatling gets the skip up now. Holds its line. Cradtell, he's kicked 2. And the Giants have kicked 10-3, 63. The Eagles 5-2, 32. Athena Home Loans scoreboard. Liam Pickering, our expert for buymystock.com.au.
Well, you'll be disappointed, Adam Simpson. There's that many numbers in the back line here that are just guarding space, but they left a hole. And the hole was where Peatling popped. He popped in there and it's on his own, basically. Uncontested mark. And a nice finish. 31 points. It's not totally out of control yet. But it's getting there. Another goal or two.
Yeah, the Eagles have been around the mark, but
looks pretty relaxed down there, Adam Simpson, doesn't he?
It does. They've been certainly competitive. I think we can acknowledge that. After, well, certainly the ominous signs early when they kicked the first 4 goals, the GWS Giants, so they've certainly dug in, but they're just keeping this nice buffer here, the Giants. So Jamison down the throat of Shuey, who's under immediate pressure. Redden back to Jamison. His kick was smothered. Ricochet back to Shuey. Inside 50 entry here for the Eagles. It's a penetrating ball on the stretch. Waterman couldn't quite reel in the mark, and Himmelberg will push it through for a behind. 30-point ball game. And coming to put it back into play here for the Giants. Just under 10 minutes remaining to half-time. He goes up the middle with the kick, cuts through. It was a beautiful ball to Tom Green. He spreads it quickly. It's a couple of options at half-forward. One of them was Cornelio. Long to the square. He's got some separation here. Riccardi. Pitch is okay. Set up just inside the line. He pops it through from the goal square. Lightning from the back half. The transition there from the Giants. 11-3, 69. The Eagles 5-3, 33.
Well, it all came from the kick-in. The kick-in was a belter just over the West Coast defender's head, and then they were on their bite. Tom Green spreads it wide. So Cornelio comes inboard. They've got a player running back towards goal. Riccardi, and he was just going to let it go through, but no, I better get a foot on it. Get myself on the scorecard. It was a very quick transition.
Yeah, they could really put their foot down now, the Giants. Just under 10 minutes remaining to half-time, so a huge opportunity for them to really pull away. Let's see what the Eagles are made of on the road.
It took a really brave kick to open them up.
It did.
It was from out of defence.
It's a beautiful kick. So Jamison in the ruck again. He'll take it out of the ruck and kick it. Just a high hoist towards half-forward. Now a grand level ball to be won. Perryman in there. Kelly trying to extract it out by hand. They spiral one inside forward 50 here. Himmelberg led Dixon to the foot. He turns it over though. And then he went straight down the throat of, it might be Liam Duggan. No, it's the young man, it's Paddy Naish who's out there, wearing number 43. So, the former Tiger.
He looks like his old man.
Son of Chris, yeah. Getting an opportunity at the Eagles.
He's been all right too.
So we'll go past the 50 now. Angle out to the left. That's where he sent it. And look on target from the moment to hit the boot. So behind for the Eagles. 5-4, 34. GWS 11-3, 69. Jermaine Jones just with his boot off. A little bit of attention to the foot on the boundary for Snaffle by now with bite-sized payments. Huge win. And the kick in from the Giants gets it to halfback, was off the hands of young Ware. Of course, the debutant, Jacob Ware from Bella Claver in SA to Woodville West Torrens.
Good on him.
I always like to see the mature age guys get a crack, and he knocked down the door, and he's been on the list for a year. Gets an opportunity to play some senior footy this afternoon. Shuey in pursuit of the footy. Wrapped up by Bruin in the tackle. Not letting him out at all. Arms were pinned, and the ball stops here. 60 metres out from the Eagles' goal. Jamison, another tap. And hunting it down low. It was Bruin. You'll get a free kick over the shoulder. Prepared to put his head over the footy. To the run of Ware off halfback. Always like the left footers. Good users of the footy. That one falling just a little short of Riccardi though, and Edwards was able to take the mark for the Eagles. And he'll send it back to where it came. Jamison trying to fly. Up went Taylor. He got hands to it for the Giants. Grand level ball to be won. A little fumble there by Jack Darling. Trying to stick the tackle on Ware. Taylor trying to get through the maze of players. Gave it to Kennedy. He was dumped. The mark was taken. It was going to be a free kick. Peatling at half forward. Nice little hit up to Riccardi.
He's a nice mover, Peatling.
So Riccardi, 70 from home. Right foot, high ball towards, full forward. Toby Green trying to get the fly over the back. McGovern will mop up here for the Eagles. Sweeping handball to Naish. And now they can start something off half back. It's a one-on-one. Waterman with an ambitious fly. Himmelberg had it all covered in the front position. And a 50.
Yeah, you can't give that away, unfortunately, for West. I understand what he was doing, because he was still juggling the ball, but would have been a free kick if he didn't mark it anyway. He must have known that. Drove him into the ground. Even though he's in defence, he might be kicking a goal.
On the Easy Debit replay, Simple Payment Solutions. Join Easy Debit today, so it does take Harry Himmelberg to within goal-scoring range. Normally, more often than not across his career, where we have seen him inside 50, but lying his trade in the back half today. Runs out in that right arc. He sunk the slipper into this one, Harry. Holds its line beautifully. It's a 12th goal for the Giants in the opening half. 12-3-75, the Eagles, 5-4-34. And he's on the Athena home loan scoreboard.
It was an interesting way he approached the goal there, but hit it sweet. And it's out to 41 all of a sudden. Getting a little bit dangerous. He's had a good game, Himmelberg. Look at that. So, players since 2002, they've had a minimum 200 shots. He has got the best accuracy in the last 20 years.
There you go.
64%, Harry Himmelberg.
Just gone past Tory Dixon, former dog, Alistair Lynch, Matthew Lord and Luke Bruce.
Pretty fair names on that list.
That's a nice little...
And I think that he's sitting up on top of them.
So the margin out to 41. Flynn won the tap. Green strong. He was stripped off it though. Then Flynn gets a little deflection on the attempted West handball. Jamison got involved. Jones has provided the run, so the foot's okay. Boot back on. Grubbs one towards the 50. Nice gather down low there by Kelly. Hits the top of the square with the kick. Waterman a couple of bites. And he's going to lay the tackle on Connor Iden. And brings him to the turf, and the ball's wrapped up only about 20 metres out from the Eagles' goal. They've had +1 inside 50s in this term for Safety Steel Sheds, but just trying to convert all the Giants' numbers. Get back, Canelio away to Brander, who kicks in the nick of time just inside the boundary line. Edwards v Hogan in the air. Edwards got a hand to it, then they pile on him. Bruin from one side, Jesse Hogan from the other. And the ball stops once again. Plenty missing, certainly for both teams, no doubt about that. As Canelio extracts it from the stoppage to Bruin. Beautiful pickup by Bobby Hill. Away to Green. Nice little sidestep. Green inside 50. Just a superbly weighted kick. And a chance here for the Giants to have a shot at goal. And I think it's Sproul it is who's got an opportunity. Of course, came onto the list in 2019, so just playing his 12th game of league footy. He came into a time when the Giants lineup was pretty strong, so it's been tough for a number of their players to play regular senior footy. And Sproul's got a good look at the uprights here. 25 out, directly in front, no problems. 13 for the Giants. Still 5 to play to half-time.
Well, that's 4 in a row, though. They've got these 4 pretty quick, too. Quick succession. It was just a quick, scrappy clearance by Canelio. Nice mark, though. And once they got it in there. He's a big man. He's 198 centimetres, Sproul. A 98-centimetre bloke that can play at either end of the ground. It's not a bad little one to have.
9 goals to 3 from stoppages for the Giants. Have been strong in that department. There's no great surprise. Always been a good clearance stoppage team. Plenty to ponder for Adam Simpson, coaching down at grand level on the bench. Simple aim of trying to get some cohesion into his team, but it's been tough with the amount of personnel missing on a week-to-week basis. So Flynn over the top, who's always after his own taps. Flynn, he's certainly covering some ground. Witherden able to gather though. Now the Eagles can break. Darling inside to Tim Kelly. Lowers the eyes. He says, come to me. Buffeted out with Shuey. It went over the back. And Tanner Bruin was able to take that footy and send it to Flynn. What a game he's having. Not his best kick, but it will find Green. Now away to Cornelio, trying to cut a path through the traffic. Away to Perryman, little left foot inside. Nice ball.
That was a bit easy though, wasn't it?
Tanner Bruin on the end of it.
Cornelio just sort of waltzed past the West Coast arm, really, more than a body tackle. It's a bit disappointing.
So Tanner Bruin to line up here to join the goal scorers list for the Giants to try and put their 14th on the board. De Boer and Toby Green, Peatling, Hogan have all kicked 2 apiece, but a nice spread in this opening half. So Bruin past the 50, 45 from home. Look at the umpire. He said, more of those, please. Just right over my cap. I like those. And Tanner Bruin joins the goal-scoring list. 14-3-87. The Giants, the Eagles, 5-4-34. Pulling away now on the Athena Homeline scoreboard. And it was that 45 kick inside from Matt Flynn that set it up. It wasn't his best kick off the boot. It was almost the intercept, but once that mark was taken, they were away.
Yeah, they were. It was a bit easy, really. Tanner Bruin, a fine young player. We haven't seen the best of him yet. We will.
Yep.
Like the way he plays his footy.
So the Eagles certainly in the game in the early part. Giants kicked the first 4. They kicked the next 3. They were thereabouts, the Eagles, staying in the game, but it's certainly blown open now. Ball in the middle. Williams and Flynn go at it again. Here's Cornelio. Little toe poke towards half forward. Toby Green to get rid of it quickly. Kelly through the traffic. Back to Toby Green. Little dinky kick over the top. Beautifully done to Flynn. He's everywhere, the big man.
Big Harry.
He's covering some miles.
He is. He is indeed. He's a thumping kick too. Now, we gave him a bit of a rap last time and he missed one from 15 metres out, but this distance he can just go back and go whack.
He's had the 18 hit-outs already, 8 of those to advantage, but I've loved his work at ground level as well, close to the man on the mark. Flynn, he's only got about 25 metres.
Oh, come on.
It tumbles into the pocket.
We wrap him up. He gets into the man on the mark. Come on, Harry.
So it went off a set of hands out of bounds. It's still in that right forward pocket for a boundary throw-in. Here for the Giants.
Getting a bit easy though now, and they get it in. They look like scoring every time. GWS.
Tim Kelly trying to extract it. Flynn trying to work a handball out again, and Cornelio with a tackle on Duggan. Ball stops. 30 out from the Giants' goal. Williams won it down. Coming through Perryman. He took on everyone, Harry. Just couldn't get the accuracy. Missed the whole lot. Burst his way through.
Tell you what though, BP, there's a few weak sort of efforts with tackling at the moment, isn't it? They just seem to be pushing aside the West Coast efforts.
Yeah, that's the thing that wouldn't please Adam Simpson. We just saw him in deep discussion with Luke Shuey down the boundary line. As Nelson hugs the boundary line with a kick to Duggan and clears the ball just outside defensive 50. Handballs over the top to Redden. They thread the needle of this boundary line. They're keeping it very, very close. Dixon couldn't take the mark, but he butters up well. Good second effort. Whatever turn of speed, he gets around Himmelberg.
Handballs it out of bounds. He had a bounce. He didn't really need to. He got about 2 metres, and then he went to handball it, and he handballed it straight out of bounds. Missed his teammate by about 2 metres.
It looked good there for a moment, then went pear-shaped.
Well, he's a ruckman. They have the ability to do that.
Williamson, Flynn. Williams won it down. Redden couldn't quite take it cleanly. Cripps on the bottom of the pack trying to dig it out. Nicely done, Brandel. That was a little hot handball by Heller. It did a lot of room to move. Eagles trying to bring some heat around the footy. Tim Kelly, he can't gather. And now they can work it out. The Giants. Heller and arches the back. Runs off half back. Nice little ball, though. It didn't quite find its mark. Little interception for the Eagles, but it's back in the hands of the Giants. Perryman. And there was the miss kick looking for Toby Green at half forward. And mark taken here by Witherden. He goes short to Rotham, who just squares the ball across the ground. We're inside the last 2 minutes to half-time. He finds Jones. He's provided plenty of run and dash off half-back. That one couldn't quite find the target, though. Ward was able to take the intercept mark here for the Giants. Inboard kick to Josh Kelly. Nothing quite on offer. He's in two minds. He's just going to chip one just inside the field of play. So Toby Green, little hit up towards half forward. He sits at 55. Almost inside the last minute. Runs on the right arc. He's just going to pop it up for the high flyers deep. And that's one man you want to avoid. And that's McGovern, who takes the mark.
You don't want to be popping it up in the path of Jeremy McGovern. He just marks everything. He'll mop everything up down there.
Goes in short to Redden. Hemmed in deep in defence here, the Eagles. Back to Harry Edwards on the last line of defence. They would have seen the cue card. There's going to be a 50 here for Edwards.
I think 7 straight this quarter, the Giants.
Let's see, that was Formic just maybe encroaching the mark, but Edwards with a sweeping handball. Keen not to cough it up late here, the Eagles, in their back half. And Nelson able to take the footy. He's going to just chip it back to Witherden. They would know exactly where the clock is at the moment. Little short ball back to Edwards. They can just chip it around here. The Eagles will own the footy late in the term. Little short ball to Jermaine Jones. This is going to chip it back, so they're not really pressing up here, the Giants. So we're about to blow for half-time. Eagles have had a string of possessions to end the second term. And McGovern will just work this one up the line in a quarter where the Giants have certainly got away. And a half where they've piled on 14 goals under Mark McVeigh in game one in the caretaker role. 14-3, 87. The Eagles 5-4-34. That is the state of play at the moment. Let's check the goal kickers for you. So De Boer has kicked 2 along with Toby Green and also Peatling. Jesse Hogan also with a couple. Singles to Bruin. Tom Green, also Riccardi, Himmelberg, Sproul, Miranda. So it's been a really, really good spread. And for the Eagles, Cripps has kicked a couple. Waterman's kicked 1. Shuey's kicked 1. And Dixon has also kicked 1 as well. Just underway, Hawthorn and Brisbane. We'll keep you across that during a half-time of our game around the grounds for Kangan Institute 1-3 TAFE. But right now, here's the Giants in full control. Back with our half-time wrap-up on AFL Nation.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for McDonald's. Order via the My Macca's app and start earning today.
If World Whisky Day has you inspired to level up your whiskey game, Hairy Dog is the better way to buy alcohol. Online, in your own time. Right now, save up to 40% on over 500 whiskies from all around the world at hairydog.com.au. Plus, delivery the very next day for metro areas with free shipping and 10% off your first order from select single malts to balanced blends. Explore a wide range of rare drops from home at Hairy Dog. Order online at hairydog.com.au. Drink responsibly, Afterpay and Zip Pay available.
Kane has a carpentry business. His challenge to renew his public liability insurance for less than his old policy. On your marks, get set.
Yeah, I just did it.
What?
Yeah, I went online to BizCover. Took 5 minutes. I compared a bunch of policies. I saved over $250.
So, no dramas?
No dramas at all.
There are literally no dramas when you go to BizCover, the business insurance specialists. Save time, money, and get instant cover at bizcover.com.au.
Tyre Power's store-wide super sale gives you the power to save on a huge range of big brands, like Vittora tyres. Right now at Tyre Power, you get the power to get 20% off on a huge range of Vittora tyres. That's 20% off when you buy a set of 4 Vittora passenger car and SUV tyres, but only at Tyre Power. Tyre Power's store-wide super sale is now on. Visit tyrepower.com.au or call 13 21 91 for your local owner-operator.
Every group of mates has one. The bloke who avoids his shout.
Oh, I left my wallet in the car. Mate, use your phone.
Oh, it's gone flat, mate. Can you cover me? With a Signet power bank, there's no more running out of charge when you or your mates need it most.
Take my Signet power bank, mate. Charge up. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll get this round and the next. I owe you one.
Aussie owned, Aussie designed. Power your life with a Signet power bank. Signet.com.
Sheds come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. But if you're after a shed, go and have a word with the family-owned team at Best Sheds. Because right now, you'll get 10% off the sheds at Best Sheds. Plus, all their sheds come with a 20-year manufacturer's warranty. And you can choose from the standard range or customise the shed of your dreams. Hit the sheds with Best Sheds 10% off sale. Best Sheds. 100% Australian-owned and manufactured. Visit bestsheds.com.au.
When you're running a business, you're always working hard. Sure, you've got a team to help carry the load, but the buck stops with you. Makes sense then that you should use a payment solution that helps make getting paid easier. Easy Debit is the all-in-one payment solution. Whether it's direct debit for recurring or subscription payments, BPay for invoicing, FPOS, phone or online payments. When it comes to dollars, it just makes sense. Easy Debit. Payments done in one. Search EZI Debit today.
All right, here we go.
If this is how swimming with a great white shark sounds, imagine how it feels. Shark cage diving on the Eyre Peninsula. Perfect for those who want a little more. South Australia. Rewards wonder.
For uniforms and workwear, there is a better way with Shawl Unify. Uniform management has never been so easy. Shawl Unify is an Australian company and your national B2B uniform and workwear expert with over 30 years experience in corporate uniforms and workwear. With their fresh approach to uniform management, Shawl Unify oversees uniform and workwear programs for some of Australia's leading organisations. Shawl Unify. Unify your team at shawlunify.com.
You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation for Beaumont Tiles. Hybrid flooring in store now.
Goal here. I'll tell you what, the connection is superb. As soon as it struck the boot from Waterman, it was a sweet kick. He goes up the middle with the kick, cuts through. It was a beautiful ball to Tom Green. He spreads it quickly. It's a couple of options at half forward. One of them was Cornelio. Long to the square. He's got some separation here. Riccardi. Pitch is okay. Set up just inside the line. He pops it through from the goal square. Lightning from the back half.
Maccas, I'm loving it moments. Order via the My Maccas app and start earning today.
So it was a 20-point margin at quarter time for the Giants, and they stretched that to 53 points at the long break, 14-3-87 in game one of the reign of Mark McVeigh as the caretaker coach, and the West Coast Eagles 5-4-34. The scoreboard certainly got away from the Eagles as that second term unfolded. It's time for our halftime floor show, thanks to Choices Flooring.
The Choices Flooring Halftime Floor Show. Choices Flooring's Watch Your Lifestyle catalogue sale on now.
Let's give you some numbers for Safety Steel Shares designed to save, built to last. So at the moment, Perryman's had the 17, Josh Kelly's had the 16, Cornelio's had the 15, Tom Green has had the 13. Leading possession getter for the Eagles, Witherden with 11. Tim Kelly has had the 10, crashing and trying to make things happen in the middle of the ground. Flynn, we've been singing his praises. He's had the 10 disposals.
Been good.
Goal scoring hasn't quite been on song today, but he's had the 19 hit-outs. Nelson's had the 10, the other Eagles there. And West, who we've been singing his praises, has had the 10 disposals in the opening half. So just some player ratings, of course. The rankings for Red Energy, moving house, called local energy retailer Red Energy. So Tom Green with the 62. Perryman 61, Flynn 59, Kelly 56, Cornelio 55. Jamie Cripps, the leading Eagle, kicked a couple of great first quarter goals. Cripps back in the lineup, of course, from injury late last year. He's the leader there in the power rankings. Give us some thoughts, Pickers, and Who's been running hot most for you here for Ream? Ask your plumber to install a Ream Steady Hot and Strong, because it's been a pretty good spread for the Giants.
Yeah, they've had a great spread. It's been a terrific first half by them. 14 goals, 7 in the first and 7 in the second. 7 goals straight in the second quarter, so 7-3 in the first. So they'll be thrilled that they've been able to hit the scoreboard like they have. It's been a real team performance. Their midfield's been well on top. Their clearance work's really good. Perriman's an unsung hero, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a leading possession winner on the ground. He doesn't get a lot of kudos. Everyone talks about Canelio and Tom and Toby Green and Tom Green, and when Hopper and Taranto and these guys are playing, and Whitfield, it's the same sort of stuff. Josh Kelly, of course, but Perriman's one of those unsung heroes.
I'll never ever forget his first radio interview. Remember that? It was on SEN. It was a beauty. Was it? The boy from, where's he from? Colin.
He was in the bush somewhere.
Colin Gully. I've probably got that slightly right. Colin Gully. Colin Gully, Glenfield Park in New South Wales, and just a good country lad.
He's a country lad from up the Riverina. Yeah, so. Yeah, they've been really good. West Coast, I thought they tried pretty hard in the first quarter, in particular the second part of the first quarter, but that quarter they looked a little bit listless to me.
What about a hanger of the day? Hangmytv.com.au, because that's what they do. Bobby Hill was trying to take Mark of the Year, but Jesse Hogan just was there.
He was.
For a nice clunk.
Riccardi's taken a beauty. He's taken one really nice mark, and it's been some good marking. Actually, it's a good day for footy because it's overcast, it's not windy. And it's not raining at this stage, so at the moment it's a perfect day for footy.
Yeah, goals are plenty. 14-goal first half for the Giants. What about the player of the day so far for our good friends at Henley Homes? Stage 4 house and land packages now selling at the Dales, Bonnybrook, Henley.com.au.
Well, I think Perryman is probably the leading position. I know he's the leading possession winner, but I think he's probably the best player too. He's been in everything at the moment. And Big Harry Flynn's been really good. I've liked his game. Matty Flynn, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been really good.
Well, I mean, he's just eager for an opportunity, isn't he? So you love seeing those guys who, Bruce is out. He's my chance to be the number one man.
Absolutely, because when he did play last year, he played a lot in the forward line. So today he's the number one ruck role. He's up against an inexperienced ruckman himself, and he's doing a pretty good job.
It's his 19th game of league footy, but he's been covering some ground, which is the modern ruckman now. It's sort of win the tap. It's following up the tap work and trying to, bruise through and crash a few packs. And
well, he's a big boy. He's not just a big skinny beanpole. He's got a bit of size about him as well.
Good athlete. Injury update for Safety HQ. SafetyHQ.com.au. Get new work gear now. So I only saw Jermaine Jones come off, took the boot off, a little bit of attention to the foot, but he came back on late in the second term. Other than that, I think it's
nothing to report there. I wouldn't have thought, BP.
Clean bill of health. What about an unmissable moment for Drink Wise? You won't miss a moment if you drink Wise.
Well, there's been a number of them, really. I mean, Toby Green's start was really good. First 2 times the ball went to him, he snapped 2 goals, but he's an exciting player, but he hasn't done much outside of that. So, and then maybe that goal of Jake Waterman's was a belter from 50.
You knew that as soon as it left the boot. That was
It had the beautiful sound to it. That thump when it hit his foot. He was out on the boundary line where the 50 connects with the boundary line. I mean, it is some sort of kick.
Yeah, we love those sort of goals. I mean, there's some guys in the competition, I think of like a Tex. When Tex gets onto it, you just know as soon as it leaves the boot.
The Tex is a beautiful kick.
It's sailing through.
He's one of the few that kick it so well on his left foot, Tex Walker. And it looks so natural for him.
Yep. MEGT, Rookie of the Day. Your local apprenticeship experts, 13 MEGT today.
I like Peatling's game. I think Peatling's been really impressive. He's kicked a couple of goals, but he's been everywhere. He's only played 6 matches. So to me, he's one that stands out. For the West Coast, no one really standing out at this stage, I would have thought.
Let's go around the grounds for Kangan Institute. He has. If he gets some good supply, big frame up there and left footer. Kangan Institute, our heroes are made at Kangan Institute. Kangan.edu.au RTO 3077. It is the Lions 3-2-20, the Hawks 1 straight. Opening quarter down in Tassie for that game. So the Lions looking to remain right at the pointy end, nipping at the heels of the Demons. So they win today. Coach of the day for TC Boxes, home for trays, canopies and toolboxes.
Well, it's Spike. He's out there. He's got his team kicking 14 goals in the first half. If they go at this rate, they're going to end up with 28 goals, and you'd say he's done a pretty good job.
Spike, Hurd and Solomon looking quite comfortable up in the box.
Then sort of mafia there. They're sitting up there in the box looking very happy with themselves.
Yeah, good. This is a start. 14 goals in the first half, although we know the Eagles have been the whipping boys, haven't they, for a lot of teams this year. We're taking calls all weekend. Kogan open line. You can make the switch. $2.90 for 30 days with a nice 20 gig of data there. So that is it for our halftime floor show as we pull this one apart. The Giants really trying to go on and have a big second half here, and really get their season going. Choices Flooring bringing us the halftime floor show. You see your floor change in an instant with Room View. AFL Nation for Icon Solutions that matter. Brett Phillips, Liam Pickering. We're at Giants Stadium. Second half coming up.
A sports news update for Rolled. Eat good with Rolled. It's fast, fresh Vietnamese.
I'm Victoria Raptis with your sports update for Rolled. In AFL, Richmond defeated Essendon in the 18th annual Dreamtime at the G. Coach Damien Hardwick says Tom Lynch and Kane Lambert will miss at least a week.
Those boys won't play next week, so we'll assess the damage and go from there.
And Max King booted 6 in St Kilda's 21-point victory over Adelaide. Wins also to the Demons, Bulldogs and Cats in round 10. In NRL, the Dragons defeated the Warriors 24-18. The Cowboys cruised to a 30-point victory over Melbourne Storm, and the Panthers overcame the Roosters 32-12. In soccer, Western United have advanced to the A-League Grand Final with a 4-1 win over Melbourne Victory. Meanwhile, Melbourne City and Adelaide United will battle in a second-leg semi-final this afternoon for a spot in the A-League Grand Final.
A sports news update for Rolled. Fast, fresh Vietnamese. You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation for Beaumont Tiles. Hybrid flooring in store now.
Safety Steel, time to get real.
Tim Watson here. Can you remember as a kid painting goals on the side of your dad's shed and shooting for goals day after day? Well, they built them tough back then, just like the sheds from Safety Steel. For prefab steel kit buildings and custom designed sheds that are tough and durable, search Safety Steel. For your dream shed, search Safety Steel.
Safety Steel, time to get real.
Hi, it's Will Davison, supercar driver and two-time Bathurst winner. We all know that IMAR are the tradies' mates when it comes to insurance. That means if you're a Sparky, IMAR's got you covered. Receive competitive monthly premiums at no additional cost, which is great for cash flow. Even better, there's no paperwork. Visit imar.com.au 24/7 for a free online quote or call 13-IMAR, that's 134627. Get a quote, get covered, get working.
They're the tradies' mates. That's IMAR.
Sustained performance in footy is more than just one great game. It's about playing consistently, game after game, season after season. Host Plus delivers strong performance over the long term, with top returns over 20 years. A top-performing super fund over the long term, that's a plus.
Super Ratings SR50 Balanced Index, December 2021. General advice only. Consider the relevant Host Plus PDS and TMD at hostplus.com.au before deciding if Host Plus is appropriate for you. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance.
Search, compare Host Plus today.
$100 just for switching your internet provider? Mate! Switch your internet to Mate in May and enter the promo code MAY100 on sign up to get $100 credit on your account once connected. You heard it right. Get $100 credit just for switching and connecting internet with Mate. Be quick. Offer ends 31st of May. Visit letsbemates.com.au or search Mate online. Credit applied 28 days after activation. Terms and conditions apply.
Jono, wear your safety boots. In the Stariolode. Hard hat, high-vis vest. In the Stariolode. Listen, I know you're used to feeling protected in the Stariolode, but that's only useful when you're inside the van, mate. Hyundai Stariolode is the only commercial van that has both ANCAP 5-star and Platinum safety rating. And from just $47,990 drive away for ABN holders, now's a smart time to buy. T's and C's apply. Visit hyundai.com.au/offers for details. Imagine that. Hyundai.
Never before in business history has the combination of hygiene, cleaning and recycling been more important. COVID changed everything and businesses need to trust their cleaning suppliers more than ever. So place your trust in Icon Services Australia, a market leader for commercial cleaning, hygiene and recycling services. Icon look after sporting organisations like the Sydney Roosters, the Gold Coast Titans and Carlton in the AFL. Keeping businesses clean and sustainable all over Australia. Get Icon Services Australia into your business. iconservices.com.au.
Footy is made up by lots of bite-sized plays. A good pass here, a nice kick there, maybe snaffling possession. But adding up all of these bite-sized plays can get you big wins. It's the same with Snaffle. Get stuff you want now and pay it off with bite-sized payments. Now that's a huge win. Snaffle. Grab a Snaffle wallet today at snaffle.com.au.
Terms, conditions, fees, charges and lending criteria apply. Credit provided by Walker Stores Proprietary Limited. Australian Credit Licence 393023.
At Underworks, we're experts in socks. We test our all-day socks so they don't dig in, so there's no irritation or ugly red marks. Test Underworks all-day socks for yourself. We're number one down under for socks.
Are you building a new home? Ask your builder, can I change the floor plan? We have over 80 home designs and more than 2,000 ways to customise our homes, all ready to quote. Get the Henley Everyday Advantage and customise your home. Henley.com.au.
You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation for Beaumont Times. Hybrid flooring in store now.
Luke Shuey's got his team in a tight huddle, trying to be as competitive as possible in a tough year for the Eagles. 5-4-34 at half-time. The Giants 14-3-87. Quick update around the grounds for Kangan Institute. 1-3 TAFE. It's, of course, Hawthorn taking on Brisbane down in Launceston. 4-2-26 the Lions. And it is the Hawks at the moment, 2 straight. With about 7 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Fremantle and Collingwood a little bit later on. So a huge opportunity for the Giants to really pull away here. Let's see what the Eagles are made of. We know they've got so many players out, but they have got back Gaff and Shuey and Cripps into the lineup today.
Just got to really be competitive in the second half. They just can't allow the Giants to kick so many easy goals. When they have got it in there, they've just looked like they've just got to waltz it through for a goal. I mean, 14 goals in the first half, you're on track for a big score.
No doubt. Tough year. And you just got to suck up and try and make the best of for both these clubs. For the Eagles, it's really been uncharted waters for a long time, since they've been right at the bottom end of the table. Liam Ryan, Sheed, Yo, Langdon, Natanui, Oscar Allen, who's been put into cotton wool for next year. No Shannon Hearn, no Willie Rioli.
Liam Ryan.
Plenty out. Opening bounce for Tyre Power. Save on Falcon. Store-wide super sale now on. 53-point lead the Giants take into the second half. Here at Giant Stadium, Flynn and Jamison to resume their battle. Toby Green starts in the middle of the ground here for the Giants. He was just pulled the kick. Riccardi little handball. Cornelio. Josh Kelly, 35 from home. And he's hit the post.
Yeah, it was a bit easy though, wasn't it? Let's hope that's not an ominous sign of what potentially could be coming. That's the avalanche out of there with handball out of the middle of the ground.
Victoria Police Assistance Line scoreboard 14-4 to 5-4. So it's a 54-point game. As Witherden comes out of his defensive goal square, goes right up the middle of the ground. Flynn had front position on Jamison. Grand level ball here for the Eagles as they put it to a one-on-one at half forward. It's Waterman v Himmelberg. And Himmelberg keeps the ball in his path. He hears the voice over the back. Ward, light little give by hand. And now Kennedy works his way through the traffic, away to Cumming, who kicks it down the wing. Almost full purchase there for Sproul. Ball hits the deck. Gaff. Jamison had his kick smothered. Ball just bobbing around in neutral territory on the wing. Eventually the gather by Josh Kelly on the non-preferred right, but it was the bigger McGovern in the air against Bobby Hill who took the mark. Inboard kick to Gaff. Gaff will lob this over the top. Half volley ball here for Tim Kelly. Heard the voice of Cripps. Laid it off by hand. Cripps trying to get a handball effective away. He did to Redden. And Redden will send one to Shuey. Shuey now with the inside 50 kick for the Eagles. Darling, Williams territory. And they get back. Sam Taylor always competing in the air. Gets the spoil over the boundary line and will have this ball tossed in. So deep in the forward pocket for the Eagles. 88 plays 34. Goal for the Hawks, standing Launceston 3-1-19. The Lions 4-2-26 around the grounds for Kangan Institute 1-3 TAFE. Here's Tim Kelly. Sharked the loose ball beautifully and hits the post. So a couple of posters to start this third quarter. 5-5 to 14-4. Giants lead this ball game. As they have from the outset, kicking the first 4 goals in a hurry. And Himmelberg, who's played in the back half this whole game. He's trying to go the barrel again. That one didn't quite connect. He gets some journey into the middle of the ground. Flynn, Peatling, Canelio, laid it off by hand. Riccardi, back to Canelio, sidesteps his way through the traffic. Back to Flynn. He loops a handball back to Cumming. Shoots one back through the middle. Some high contact over the shoulder. Canelio's free kick. Waterman stares him down.
Not happy with him at all then, was he?
Canelio will spread this one wide. Perryman, nice little ball to Riccardi. So they work it methodically here. Riccardi directs the traffic, says come to me. Just going to pop it up here into a bit of space, but Hogan couldn't make up the journey and Rotham takes the mark. Deep in defence here for the Eagles. So Rotham will hug the boundary line with the kick. It was Darling who had to go the defensive spoil over the back. Clark the last touch over the boundary line and we'll have it tossed in. 53-point lead to the Giants. All this action for Tyre Power. Buy 3, get 1 free on selected Falcon tyres and Macca's, of course. Their $6 small McChicken meal and cheeseburger on my Macca's app. Get a hold of that. Flynn.
Look at this.
Jamison.
It's like a jump ball.
Trying to wrench it out of each other's hands. Ball spilt to Kelly. Perryman cuts a nice little path through the traffic. High ball towards the shallow part of the 50. McGovern territory. Hogan there as well. Jesse trying to extract it out of mid-air. As that ball works its way towards the boundary line, Clark was under pressure. Peatling with a nice tackle. Takes him over the boundary line. You've been singing his praises, Peatling, Pickers.
Yeah, he's had a good game. Looks a nice play to me.
Some good forward half work. With ball in hand, and he's got to get ball in hand. Ball tossed in. Jamison trying to flick it over the back. Witherden had his head down over the footy. Redden. Gee, it's tough to pin down Tom Green. He's got the strength, the big ball. Launched the handball. Peatling was running at full tilt. Sproul with the outside of the boot. He's gone to the right-hand side.
Far away then, though, was he?
Well,
he's at the bottom of that pack.
LA just forming here.
Tom Green, is it?
Just off to the side of where the kicking's about to take place. It'll be Witherden to put it back into play. 14-5-89 the Giants. The Eagles 5-5-35. Use the police assistance line for non-urgent situations. Ooh. Nice fly from Darling. Couldn't quite complete the mark. Perryman, grand level ball. Worked overtime, just couldn't quite keep it in. Handball in that up line intended for Riccardi, but Sheeran takes a wrong turn. Out of bounds.
A good piece of that, Jack Darling. Hasn't done a lot this afternoon.
Little proppy just after that big fly as he heads back towards half forward. So Flynn had front position for the boundary throw-in. And Gaff will stick a tackle here on Perryman. Ball stops again. Flynn, high hand. Truckload of hit-outs for the big man this afternoon. And now the Eagles looking to try and build something off the halfback. It was Darling in the air, V. Taylor, who held his ground, but then he's got to work overtime here. Ends up giving the handball away. Cripps was able to gather. Tumbles one inside 50. Waterman, nice little tap to Winder. Outside of the boot. That's a classy goal from the young man. Let's give that a goal of the game contender for host. Plus, that's a plus.
It was a good team goal.
Nice finish.
Yeah, it was a nice tap over by Waterman. He's kept the ball alive on the centre wing. Taylor thought he got it away, but he only got it as far as Cripps. A quick kick in. And a nice little tap by Waterman. Just into the path of Winder and a nice finish. Good on him.
I think that is that his first goal? I think it might be.
It is his second goal.
Two, okay. Sorry, we didn't forget the first one. Yep, earlier. 14-5-89 the Giants. So Eagles pull one back here. 6-5-41. No, it is his first. I think that is his first goal ever.
Is that right?
In league footy. According to my numbers here, Messiah Winder.
Good on him anyway. It was a nice finish.
But do they all come from everywhere to get around him?
Didn't see that. That's why I got a feeling he came in with one. Going by my stats sheet, he had one before today. They normally come from everywhere. Your first goal these days.
Oh no, my apologies. Sorry, I haven't got my glasses on today, Pickers. I'm looking at the wrong columns. Spot on. It's a bit of Sunday-itis. Not sure what's happened today. 14-5 plays 6-5. So Adam Simpson's gone up to the box to see it from a different lens in this second half. Here's Bailey Williams. Won the palm down. Tim Kelly, little hack kick forward. Coming to meet it was Dixon. Nice little spin. Good handball. Went wide to Naish. Just delayed the handball. Allowed Gaff to get in his vision. Gaff now sends it inside forward 50. 40 metres out from the Eagles' goal. They defend here, the Giants. Himmelberg. Here's young Ware just inside the boundary line. They run out of room, though, to try and build something through Kennedy. And we'll have a boundary throw in.
Well, they've picked up their pressure in this quarter, at the start of this third quarter, the West Coast.
So ball inside forward 50. Sproul and Williams going at it. Gaff, little deflection. Cripps is caught in a tight squeeze here. Kennedy and also Sproul. So we have another stoppage. Just inside 50 here for the Eagles. Dixon and Waterman, the two men deep. And this ball is not going too far. There's a lot of players around this footy. Another stoppage. Umpires quickly in. Throws it up. Williams trying to palm it forward. Taken here by Callan Ward. Brander links up with Tom Green. Close to the boundary line. Measures a nice little ball up the line to Taylor. So Taylor with ball in hand. He's going to change direction. Come back across his defensive goal. Ward. And try and open up the other side of the ground here, the Giants.
Where they normally look inside, but West Coast have covered that corridor at the moment.
Himmelberg went short to Peatling. Change angles again. Peatling across to Taylor. Back to the broadcast side of the ground to Cornelio. So they're using
wide.
just about every blade of grass at the moment. The Giants. Beautiful ball to half forward to Tanner Bruin. He's going to cut back inside.
A lot of possessions, not a lot of meters gained, isn't it?
To Brander. And now the Eagles' numbers certainly dropping back. Brander's going to go wide with the kick. It's intended for Hogan. He got up. He had some purchase. But Edwards got the spoil away. Loose ball for Tim Kelly, who just sends it up the lines. A 2-on-1, though, favouring the Giants. Getting back there, Taylor and Himmelberg. On his best kick. Gives a real task there to Brander, the former Eagle. They couldn't quite take it. Gathered by Cripps, who sent one to half forward.
Darling.
Good inventive play there by Darling. And lots of traffic around him. He just had to find a way to get it forward. He tumbles into that left forward pocket for a boundary throw-in. Sprout just off the ground. Might have
caught an elbow, I think.
Yeah, caught an elbow to the eye. So just off the ground at the moment. Boundary update for Snaffle. By now, bite-sized payments. Huge win. Another boundary throw-in. 48 points the lead here for the Giants. Williams won it down. He's Winder again. Make that goal number 3 in his career and 2 for the day. And there have been 2 good ones in this third quarter. Touch of class from the young man. 7-5-47. The Giants 14-5-89. Victoria Police assistance line scoreboard.
That was a great goal. From the stoppage, he worked off his opponent, got around another one, and lovely snap. Did really well. Wrong-footed Adam Kennedy. So they've kicked the only 2 goals in this quarter.
Yeah, great to watch that again on the Easy Debit replay. Join Easy Debit today. He liked it too in the infancy of his career. Trying to make his mark. All square down in Tassie. Hawks have really struck back. 5-2-32 apiece. Almost quarter time for Kangan Institute. 1-3 TAFE. Fremantle Collingwood coming up in just over an hour's time over in the West.
Give the Pies a chance? I think I'll give them a chance. They really played well in Perth.
Yep. Yeah, I think absolutely. Huge game, isn't it? If they could get back to 5-5.
Yep, give themselves a chance at the finals.
Ball escapes out of the middle. Duggan was stripped of the footy. Here go the Giants. Kelly lowers the eyes. Good ball to the 50. Peatling. He's got another option on here. There's a couple queuing up. And it'll be Tanner Bruin to take the mark.
Tanner Bruin. He had some space. I reckon it was a Tom Green handball. The quick hands that got it forward. Yep, it was.
Lightning.
Beautiful handball. And Josh Kelly, beautiful user.
Now for the finish. Tanner Bruin, game number 20. Second year on the Giants list. And a real opportunity to play some game time. Under a new coach, second half of the year. Bruin, little skip up now. Got to convert when you get your opportunity, and he does. a couple for the day. They edge a little closer to three figures. 15-5, 95, the Giants. And the Eagles are 7-5, 47. Still 12 minutes to play. Makita Clock rule the outdoors in this third quarter.
Yeah, it was a good bit of play in the middle of the ground. And he found space. I'm not sure how he found that much space, but Tanner Bruin has shot forward to the contest and good square up kick. A nice finish.
So just some leading numbers. Safety Steel Sheds stat sheet this afternoon. If you're just turning on the radio with this one, it's certainly been the Giants right from the start of this contest. Canelio's had the 22, Kelly's had the 20, Perryman's had the 20, Tom Green with the 16. Tim Kelly leads the way with the Eagles with 15. Witherden, prominently playing in the back half, has had 13. Jack Redden's had the 11. Flynn, another tap. He's back after it again. I've loved his follow-up work today. And then Canelio able to come in, but he was taken down by Big Jamison in the tackle. Ball stops in the middle of Giant Stadium. Jamison and Flynn go at it again. Shuey was hunting it down low, deflected out to Tim Kelly, who spreads it wide towards half forward. Good ball to Waterman, who wants to turn and go pretty quickly here. A little daisy cutter inside, not ideal down low for Big Dixon. Iden had it covered. Dixon, though, in pursuit of him. Good pressure to try and strip him with the footy. The sort of forward pressure that Adam Simpson will be after from the big man. They do get to stop the Eagles just inside the boundary line.
Pressure's up in this quarter, that's for sure. It wasn't in the second.
Jamison over the top, won the palm. But it was a grand little ball for Bruin. Canelio. Ward had to be really quick with his hands. Canelio likewise. Himmelberg, Taylor. They've got out of the squeeze. O'Halloran from defensive 50. They worked that beautifully, the Giants.
The overlap handball here.
Now, further afield to Riccardi. Away to Bobby Hill. Hot one in the air. For the bandage up Sproul, it was knocked out of his hands, and Jermaine Jones trying to start the mop up for the Eagles. McGovern, Barras to Rotham, who takes the mark, and he's going to come inboard with the kick. Got to be spot on, it is. It's a good one to Shuey. Then he has his handball cut off, beautifully intercepted coming. Shuey goes back after him to lock him up in the tackle. And the Giants going to stop.
He did well come in because that handball was on, and he just thought he was going to do it, so he just put the hand out. Didn't give away a 50. Very clever.
Anticipated beautifully. Bruin right in the clinches. And the ball being tossed up. He's wrapped up in the tackle by Shuey. Ball stops. 95 plays 47. Giants way. Little palm down the throat of Canelio, who kicks to Sproul.
That was a fantastic tap.
And he takes the mark, and he'll kick from just a touch outside 50. Big Flynn doing some beautiful work this afternoon in the air.
That was a lovely tap by Flynn.
Advantage of Canelio. Nice little hit up to Sproul, and now for the finish, he's had to take the boot off and just, get things sorted here. He's in a bit of trouble getting that right boot back on.
Canelio's had a really good quarter. 9 disposals for the quarter. He's been everywhere.
So Sproul to see if he can kick his. He kicked one today.
Sproul, you got one earlier, yeah.
Sorry.
Sure he did.
He's going in short. Where? All unattended.
He got one just before half time.
He's identified that this young man would love to kick a goal on debut.
I like that. He could have had a shot himself, but wanted to include the young man where.
And he's shown some good signs. Good user, left footer. A bit of polish about him. And he gets an opportunity to kick his first goal. Runs on that left arc. We're following the trajectory. It is beautiful off the boot. They will gather around a man who's taken a bit of a different path to league footy. It hasn't all happened as a 17, 18-year-old. He's had to wait a little longer. And the Giants players celebrate with him. They've come from all parts of the ground.
Really unselfish play, though, by Zach Sproul. He had every right to have a shot there. And it was a lovely kick, isn't it? A beautiful looking kick. Kicks like Josh Kelly.
One of the great sights in footy, the left footers.
You love your lefties, don't you?
Kick it sweetly.
Yeah, they do. You don't often see a scrappy left footer, do
No.
you? Let's be honest.
No.
They're normally a beautiful kick.
Yeah. I can only think of, I mean, once we're going way back, like Dwayne Lamb used to have his head
Paddy
right
Lamb,
over the ball.
Yeah. Bit of an awkward style. Drew Banfield's had a bit of an awkward
Banfield,
style.
yep.
Isn't too many. I have to admit that I played with the left footers that weren't really good kicks. Couch was a good kick.
Yeah, the pathway through the Sandford Reserves, got to play some senior footy 2020 in a premiership at Woodville West Torrens. He got a look in by the Giants, a year to develop.
I think Emma Quayle does the South Australian spotting for the Giants. What do you feel that's her portfolio?
He's just been working at his craft the last year and has got an opportunity today. He was pretty emotional during the week about just getting that chance to play league footy.
And that's why it's really important that players continue to play at the best level they can.
Yep.
Because you never know who's watching. Don't give up on your dream if it doesn't happen when you're 18.
Well, exactly right. And, another team to come into the competition, more opportunities to play at the highest level, and clubs casting the net far and wide. And
don't worry, it doesn't matter where you're playing. If you're a gun player, someone's going to find you. But you're best to give yourself a chance to play at the best level you can.
Giants have worked this to half forward. Sproul with ball in hand. He's going to hit the top of the square. Riccardi's down there. Hogan's down there. But Waterman was able to take the mark.
Strong mark in defence.
To repel that forward thrust.
It's just really held ground at the moment. It's 2 goals each in this quarter, so it's still that same sort of 9-goal margin it was at half-time.
Rotham, nice little exit kick. Finds Big Jamison.
They're getting exposure, these guys. Like, you know, in a fully fit West Coast outfit, you're not seeing 5 or 6 of these blokes.
Yep.
So they get a chance before time, really, before they're probably ready. But it gives the West Coast fans to know that it's not all lost. You know, we're seeing some other players that will take us forward if I'm a West Coast supporter.
Yep.
I'll be liking what I've seen from Winder. He looks a nice player. Dixon looks a nice player.
Yeah.
So there's some things to like.
Jamison's had a good battle in the ruck with
he's trying hard.
But Williams is in for this one. Close to the boundary line. Gathered here by Nelson. Right foot kick inside forward 50. Hyden almost could have marked it, but he's gone the punch over the boundary line for a boundary throw-in. So Peatling just with his boot off. A little bit of attention down there on the boundary for Snaffle. Bite-sized payments win. 101 plays 47. The Giants have got this one under control. We're just inside the last 8 minutes. Makita clock. We're all the outdoors in this third quarter. As Waterman applies the tackle here and ball stops at half forward.
Waterman appealing for the free kick, but he threw his head back. No free there. James Boyd.
6-3-39 Brisbane. Hawthorn 5-2-32 around the grounds for Kangan Institute. 1-3 Topher in the second quarter of that match down in Tassie. And the Eagles have got ball in hand here. Taken by Clark, another one of their young players.
Yeah, they like him. Big raps.
Soretto boy over in WA. Duncraig. Across to Subi in the waffle.
Yeah, highly rated.
195 centimetres, 94 kilos. It's not a bad kick at all. It's a superb kick. And they'll gather around Greg Clark.
I'm sure. That was a fabulous goal.
Who kicks his first ever goal in league footy. And he gets one back for the Eagles, 8-5-53. The Giants, 16-5, 101. That's on the Victoria Police Assistance Line scoreboard.
It was a lovely kick. This is having a look at the replay here of Luke Shuey trying to go between the legs of Josh Kelly, or one of his Giants teammates.
And short to Clark and gave him an opportunity to kick his first goal. It was a good connection too, ran in that right arc and
lovely kick. He was outside 50 when he kicked it.
Worked it back beautifully.
Going to be a nice player, this bloke.
Good size.
Another one that's probably in a bit earlier than they probably thought. Oh, yeah, he's a lovely size. He's 195.
Just game 3 of his career. So he kicks his first goal. There's a moment you'll never forget. Flynn wins another tap. It's been a regular occurrence. Perryman gets another little clearance.
They've always had the answers, though, the Giants today, haven't they?
Inside 50 kick. Another opportunity for a shot at goal here. Hill's on the end of it.
He's been dangerous, Bobby, today. Been very dangerous. Put himself in really good positions. He's got a bit more ink than the last time I saw him. Got the legs done.
The featured, what was the doco called with the managers?
Oh, yeah, I didn't watch it, but I heard he was in it. He's one of Youngie's, isn't he? Colin Young's guy?
He is.
Yeah.
Youngie
was in the bath in his suit, I believe. Oh, come on, Bart. Come on, Youngie.
Discussion about trying to get a trade done, and it didn't quite get over the line. He stayed a giant. Let's see if he can kick a goal here. That one hangs out to the left. And he's just going to double-check the goal umpire whether this has made it over the boundary line. Harry Edwards actually took the mark. It was a shallow kick.
Looked like he was over to me.
And we'll just double-check this upstairs for roofing and sheet metal centre. Everything sheet metal from the roof down.
Good. Where he is when he marks it.
There you go.
Looks like it's over.
Absolutely over.
How can the umpire not see that? Where he is.
He must have blinked right at that moment.
Anyway, I don't think it's going to make much difference to the scoreboard. I mean, what is it, 48 points? It's an 8-goal difference.
So the arc will start to spin now and should be able to declare this from the angle we're certainly seeing that it should be declared a behind.
I don't know why it takes so long, this.
It's the issue.
You see Damien Hardwick this week.
12:51 a.m.
Yeah, just before 1 a.m. this morning.
Yeah.
the review's finished yet. He would have only just got home from the game himself about an hour before. Probably had a nice glass of red. Thought, I'll just put one out there just to drive a bit of conversation.
There's a few delays last night. So called it behind. 16-6, 102 the Giants. Eagles 8-5, 53. Another chance here from the kick-in. De Boer. Cornelio had to get rid of it quickly. Ball was touched coming, trying to invent a handball over his shoulder. Cornelio through the traffic. Bobby Hill dance move, and then he got brought down. Big tackle by Cripps.
He got around the first one, but he didn't realise he had Jamie Cripps coming up behind him. Thought he was clear, Bobby. He was not.
Terrific tackle for Toro. Count on it. Now the Eagles with ball in hand. Duggan at half back. Little half volley handball for Gaff under a bit of pressure.
Going nowhere though, are they?
Withered and slung and taken down the tackle here by Ward. And penalised.
Yeah, that's because it was a lazy handball by Gaff, to be fair.
Yep.
I mean, Andrew Gaff's got to be, I know it's his first game back, but got to be better than that. A player that's as experienced as him, his handball, a slow old handball at the bloke's feet.
Yep.
Withered his feet.
Brander with the inside 50 kick. Big spoil by Rotham over the top. Little deflection there by Cornelio.
Toby's playing for the freeze.
Toby
Get it.
Green, he's caught in a sandwich of McGovern on one side and Cripps on the other. Ball stops. 40 out. Giants goal. 49 points their lead. It's never been in doubt, the scoreboard today. Here's Cornelio getting busy. Away to Green, left foot from the boundary line. Toby Green, he couldn't quite squeeze it home. It just went across the face. For a behind. There's 7th of the afternoon. 103 plays 53. Victoria Police Assistance Line scoreboard. All this action for Bing Lee today. Australian family owned for over 65 years. And Duggan's going to play on from his defensive goal square. High ball towards half-back. It was big Dixon territory and they came across the defensive unit of the Giants. Got that out of bounds.
What are we doing in the other game there, BP?
Quick update.
Update for me?
Indeed. Down in Tassie, it's a good contest too. The Lions just in front here, 6-4-40. Hawthorn 6-2-38.
We thought it would be a good game, that one.
Still about 14 minutes to play second quarter around the grounds for Kangan Institute.
Oh, look at this. Look at this.
Jay Jones, he just stole it away. He's provided all the run off half back today, long inside 50. Jamison actually went to ground. It was a 2-on-2 deep. Sam Taylor was able to take the mark.
It was a nice mark too. Had a bit of trouble, but hit the deck.
Taylor will come back to the broadcast side of the ground. It's a good juggling mark taken by Hogan.
Been pretty good today.
A few contenders for the hangmytv.com.au mark of the day. We'll adjudicate that one a little bit later on. Goes in short to Ware. He's mainly been playing across half back. He's crept forward to kick his first goal in league footy this quarter. And Ware goes in short to Kennedy. Ball in hand in the back half here, the Giants. Connor Ryder, and he can just whacks it out to Kennedy. And he's marked at defensive 50. Just go at their own pace here. Dictate the tempo of the match. 3 3/4 minutes remaining to three-quarter time.
Well, they went 7 goals in the first quarter, the Giants, 7 in the second, and only 2 so far in this quarter, though. West Coast have held them up well.
Canelio with ball in hand, away to O'Halloran.
They did get late goals in both the first and second quarters, though. Not sure they're going to get too many. With 3.5 minutes left till three-quarter time, it looked to me like they put the cue on the rack. I'm not sure why they would do that when they're clearly dominating the contest. This is the time to be a bit brave. Your percentage is poor. And what are they going at? Their percentage at the moment is 78. But this is a lot. This is a chance for a live kill, really.
Josh Kelly with the inside 50 kick on the stretch. Tom Green couldn't quite reel in the mark. Ball still in here. De Boer trying to run away from the traffic. Away to Tom Green. That's a great snap on the right boot for his second.
Well, that is extraordinary. It really is. Now that ball wasn't taken out. McGovern swears it was out, and it looked out, but umpire said, no, it's not out. And play on, and Tom Green just summed it up beautifully. Everyone else had given up on it. Out of bounds. And he kept it back in. Jesse Hogan knocked it back in. Well done. That's a great snap, though, all the same. He was under all sorts of pressure there, Tom Green.
He had to get through some traffic, and you're not going to pin Tom Green down, the big bull.
He's a good player. Very talented young player. 17 disposals and 2 goals. He's been important again today.
17-7, 109. The Giants, West Coast 8-5-53. That's the state of play here at Giant Stadium. All this action for Tyre Power. Buy 3, get 1 free on selected Falcon tyres and Macca's. Their $6 small McChicken meal and cheeseburger. That's on the MyAcres map. Or even their app. If you can find it on the map.
During the week,
ball in the middle. Williams won it down. A little peckish.
We're talking about
Sproul.
I'll wait till we get a stoppage. The Dwayne A during the week was hilarious.
Little kick towards Witherden. Duggan trying to work it out. Eventually Perryman, good little handball. Ware, good user. Inside kick. He finds Brander. Brander almost missed his hand, and Winder was not supposed to go to him. Took possession to Gaff. Clark got involved. Now the kick towards half forward.
Good
Dixon.
Mark. Terrific mark by Dixon.
Ice-like hands. The kick not so flash to Jamie Cripps. Ricochets out to Duggan. Left foot hook from 55. Liam Duggan. It's got the journey. Cue up the left footers from outside 50. They love them. Now the goal umpire's just going to absolutely double check if this didn't just shave a bit of the post, I think, on the way through.
It's hard to tell from that angle. That's not obvious.
Yeah, we're getting the side-on angle.
There's no snick over the looks of it.
Just having a look
I
at
can't
this.
even see the ball on that second screen.
No. So just having a little look upstairs for roofing and sheet metal centre.
He's standing right under it. How can he not know if it's touched? It's touched the post. Can't get a better view than where he is. Look where he is. He's standing underneath it.
Bird's eye. Must have blinked again.
How many times can you blink? Anyway, looked like a clear goal, but who knows?
The arc is...
It's actually frustrating with score reviewing. It's just slowing the game up.
Well, we're so used to a game that...
that's not going to show anything. That
doesn't
doesn't
stop.
stop to me.
So just getting it slowed down here. It was just inside that right goal post.
Well, depending on what he said now. Did he say he thinks it hit the post?
Yeah, the way the conversation went, he feels like it. Just want to double check if it didn't shave the post.
Oh, right, okay, so I think it's a goal, but just check. Anyway, it's pretty boring to listen to, isn't it? Let's be honest. I'll go back to what I was going to say before. While
tell the story. Yeah.
Dwayne, during the week, they were talking about exciting Indigenous players, and someone ran out and said, "Oh, Jeff Farmer." He goes, "Oh, that's right, Jeff the Farmer Wizard." We played it yesterday on Off the Record. Oh God, I laughed.
Jeff the Farmer Wizard.
Jeff the Farmer Wizard.
Umpire's call. All clear.
Yeah, it's a good goal.
Just wanted to double check the goal umpire. He thought it was just inside, whether it had maybe shaved a bit of that post, but...
Tell you what the problem is BP, is they're double guessing themselves by doing that. I mean, if he says it's a goal, they're not going to even bother reviewing it.
Yep.
If he's confident enough, but right there, look.
Yeah, he couldn't have been in a more perfect spot. Eyes...
If he had been back 1 metre, it would have landed him in the mush. Like, seriously. Anyway, it's a good late goal anyway by Duggan.
marching back to 50 points inside the last couple of minutes of this third quarter.
Nearly goes up to 30 disposals. Is that a good second?
Yeah,
this quarter's had a belt of this quarter. He's had 14 touches.
He's in there opposed to Tim Kelly. The ball goes in their vicinity. Kelly can't get an effective kick away. Then Shuey's put into the turf by Big Sproul with the tackle.
One thing you can say about Shuey is he never dies wondering, does he? Look,
he's still trying to dig it out. Umpires just let it go here. Sweeping handball there by Kelly, but will be cut off by the Giants, who work it towards half forward. It's a loose ball for Peatling. Peatling a little tumbler on the juggle. Mark couldn't quite be taken by Toby Green. He was with it and right there with him.
He's saying he was pushed, Toby, but I'm not so sure he was. He hasn't done a bad job, really.
No.
On Green, he started like a house on fire. Kicked the first 2 goals in about 5 minutes. Oh, he did get a shove in the back. Yeah, you're right, Toby. He did.
Yeah, we get another angle on that on the easy debit replay.
Yeah, umpire didn't have that angle, though.
No. Tim Kelly from the stoppage. Rolls one towards the wing. Jamison. Taylor trying to get down low. Jamison nicely. Darling did well. Comes to Winder. Nice little hit up to Dixon. Good mark out in front of the eyes. Some of the young talent of the Eagles. And Dixon's about 85 from home. He's going to cut it inboard. He's looking for Duggan, but he just didn't get the connection he wanted. Over the back here for the Eagles, trying to make something out of nothing, and he's been pinned holding the ball here at half forward. What is that? He's trying to, I think it might have been...
No idea. Gaff.
Doesn't look Gaff, doesn't it? Some of the...
It's hard to tell, because
the Indigenous jumpers...
Yeah, they've got a very busy back of the jumper.
They have.
So it's difficult to pick up the numbers of some of these players.
Yeah. So Peatling with ball in hand here for the Giants. So he ticked down towards three-quarter time. I just want to keep possession in the back half here. The Giants with Ward in possession. So they had a 53-point lead at half-time, and they haven't been able to build on that. The Eagles have just been able to hold firm, certainly from a scoreboard perspective. 17-709 the Giants. The Eagles 9-5-59 to three-quarter time. A quick update in the other live game that is going on. The Hawks have taken the lead down in Tassie 8-2-50. Brisbane 6-6-42. 9 minutes to play to half-time in that contest. Fremantle and Collingwood to round out your Sunday. But the Giants, under Mark McVeigh, have got this one under control. Can they build on a 50-point lead? We'll find out next here on AFL Nation.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for Mate Internet and Mobile, Australia's most satisfied NBN customers. Internet from $59.
My Macca's Rewards has arrived. Earn points with every Macca's run to redeem on more of your favourites. Your mates' usuals or family go-tos. Download the My Macca's app and start earning today. Value means more at Macca's. T's and C's apply. See our website for details.
G'day, Rusty here for Bendix Ultimate Plus brake pads. Their advanced ceramic formulation means greater stopping power, and the high friction formulation means low dust generation, keeping wheels cleaner longer, low braking noise, and greater resistance to brake fade at higher temperatures. And what good are pads without brake rotors? Bendix Ultimate Rotors are the latest in braking technology and manufacturing, the perfect complement to Bendix brake pads. Bendix, put your foot down with confidence.
Hear that? That's opportunity ringing. So make your own call and switch to Kogan Mobile. Because right now you can get started with a new 12-month plan from Kogan for just $2 for the first month. That's just $2 for the first month for unlimited calls, texts, and a huge 10 gig of data. Make the call. Switch to Kogan Mobile. Visit koganmobile.com.au/radio. Terms and conditions apply. Monthly costs after 1 month is $15 per month. The minimum cost for the year is $167.
Jono, wear your safety boots. In the Stariolode. Hard hat, high-vis vest. In the Stariolode. Listen, I know you're used to feeling protected in the Stariolode, but that's only useful when you're inside the van, mate.
Hyundai Stariolode is the only commercial van that has both ANCAP 5-star and Platinum safety rating. And from just $47,990 drive away for ABN holders, now's a smart time to buy. T's and C's apply. Visit hyundai.com.au/offers for details. Imagine that. Hyundai.
Major building projects for the trade or a DIY home reno. Robot Building Supplies is the Australian-owned family-run business you can trust.
Robot's got it.
Robot's product range is vast and world-class. And when it comes to product knowledge...
Robot's got it.
Next-day delivery in Metro Melbourne.
Robot's got it.
Over 70 years experience and reliability helping Melburnians. Robot Building Supplies. Notting Hill, Sunshine, Preston, Dramana, Pakenham, Coldstream and Darnham. robotbuildingsupplies.com.au.
ROBOT, Robot Building Supplies.
Never before in business history has the combination of hygiene, cleaning and recycling been more important. COVID changed everything and businesses need to trust their cleaning suppliers more than ever. So place your trust in Icon Services Australia, a market leader for commercial cleaning, hygiene and recycling services. Naming rights sponsor of Icon Park, the home of Carlton Football Club and AFLW. For a complete integrated solution for commercial cleaning and more, get Icon Services Australia into your business. iconservices.com.au.
So if you cast your eyes over here, you'll find the heart of the Milky Way. It's looking superb on this crisp winter night and in one of the darkest skies on Earth. Now, who wants to see the rings of Saturn?
If this is what stargazing along the Murray River sounds like, imagine how it feels. River Murray Dark Sky Reserve. Perfect for those who want a little more. South Australia. Rewards wonder.
Sasha has a restaurant. Her challenge. Renew her business insurance policy and save money. Sasha, your time starts...
Yeah, it's all done.
But how could you...
I just went online to BizCover and got a business insurance pack. Saved me around $600.
But I want more drama.
Yeah, I don't.
There are literally no dramas when you go to BizCover, the business insurance specialists. Save time, money and get instant cover at bizcover.com.au.
Which oil keeps your business moving? Farmers and fleet managers, they know. Construction crews and car mechanics, they know. And you know. Valvoline, the original engine oil.
You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation for Beaumont Tiles. Hybrid flooring in store now.
Inside 50 kick on the stretch. Tom Green couldn't quite reel in the mark. Ball still in here. De Boer going to run away from the traffic. Away to Tom Green. That's a great snap on the right boot for his second. Kick not so flash to Jamie Cripps. Ricochets out to Duggan. Left foot hook from 55. Liam Duggan. It's got the journey. Cue up the left footers from outside 50. They love them.
Maccas, I'm loving it moments. Order via the My Maccas app and start earning today.
So the Giants by 50 points at the last change, 17,709. West Coast Eagles 9,559 a day, where Steve Canelio has had the 30 disposals. Perriman's had the 24. Josh Kelly's had the 21. Tim Kelly leads the way with the Eagles with 19. Gaff's had the 16. Redden has had the 15. Major goal scorers to three-quarter time. Really shared contribution for the Giants. Toby Green, Matt De Boer, Tanner Bruin, Tom Green, Peatling, Hogan. They've all kicked two apiece, so a really good spread. Winder with a couple of nice ones too. The young man wearing number 22. Opening bounce of this final quarter for Tyre Power. Buy three, get one free on selected Falcon tyres. And the Eagles through Redden away to Shuey, going to win a free kick out of the middle. It was a bullet, not a beautiful drop punt, but it found West at half forward. Started the game well.
You make the trip? Sure about this.
Kick from against the skip up now. Let's call it 52 metres west. Gee, it's going right to the line. Haven't killed the footy here, the Giants. Darling. Just couldn't get boot to ball.
Couldn't get a boot on it. On the goal line.
Well, he comes up a little proppy again, Jack. It's happened a few times today.
He's had a tough day. He's had a tough afternoon. He's tried to do it all himself. Had a lot of support.
So at least for the Eagles, they didn't let that game really break open in that.
No, they didn't.
Third quarter.
That was their best quarter, no doubt about that. They haven't looked threatening in saying that.
Himmelberg out of his defensive goal square. Clears the area by some margin, but Rotham with a nice little grab here for the Eagles to send them back inside 50. Wide kick towards half forward. Kennedy, a big spoil on Waterman. Ground level ball here for Cumming. Dishes off the handball. Little fumble by De Boer, and he cops some attention there from Jermaine Jones. So it'll be It's a free kick back here to Bohr at half back.
It was just sloppy. Right around the shoulder.
So the Giants will look to build again. Adam Kennedy stretches this one right across half back to Ware. He's a good user on the left. Inboard kick to Himmelberg. And Himmelberg will dart this one. He's got to cut it through a few Eagles. He couldn't get it to Tom Green. Cut off by McGovern. Handball wasn't flashed, though, and the Eagles cough it up. Perryman, little dinky kick. Peatling. O'Halloran, kick inside forward 50, all on his own. Toby Green deep. A slightish angle out to the right. He's only 20 metres out. Good game down in Tassie. The Hawks 9-2-56, 8-7-55. Brisbane heading towards half-time. And a live game at the moment around the grounds for Kangan Institute. 1-3 TAFE.
And Toby Green, you wonder how he's had so much space.
So looking for his third. It was a little casual, I reckon, on the left boot.
A little bit lazy, Tobe.
Couldn't curl it back effectively.
Sure, Spike's all that thrilled with it. Should have eaten that, really, Toby.
Absolutely. Icon Services scoreboard, solutions that matter. It's still a 50-point lead for the Giants. And as Duggan comes out of his defensive goal square, he was coming to the broadcast side and he comes back. So deep in defence to Witherden. So Witherden calls the traffic to come across and give a contest in the air. Harassed territory. Flynn got hands to it. Just keeps buttering up at ground level. Flynn, he's full of steam. Lays off the handball. O'Halloran was taken down in the tackle. And then Hogan applies the tackle there on Jones, it looks like. So that ball taken over the boundary line. We'll have it tossed in. Half forward for GWS. Looking for win number 3 of the year. And the first one under Mark McVeigh. Flynn will have front position on Jamison. 2 young ruckmen. An opportunity this afternoon. All hits the deck. And another stalemate will develop here. The Eagles, as Adam Simpson has made comment during the week, still a lot on the injury trail. They're going to take some weeks to get back. A couple have already
been put on ice for the year.
On the inactive list for next year. And they'll make some calculated decisions on a few players that really have not had a run at it this year at all.
They will have a look at their medical team. Well, not their medical team, but their high-performance team. You can't be winning games of footy if you've got half your list out.
Yep.
That'll be getting... I know a number of clubs have done that in recent years that have had bad runs. We look at how they've done things.
So the Giants go back inside 50 through the arms of Hogan at the back. Canelio, 30 disposals to three-quarter time. He's got a plethora of options. He hooked it across his body. Hill was there, Perryman was there, and Perryman darted in to take the mark.
He's had a terrific game, Steve Canelio. Love the way he's worked into the match. It's the best I've seen him play for a long time. He's clean. That was a clever kick.
Yeah, they've been good quality touches, haven't they?
They have. Yeah, they've been... Because he can sometimes just get scrappy touches, can't he? He can get a lot of the ball, but then just not really affect. But then today he's been quite the opposite, really.
Correct. So Perryman's on the runway and he kicks the goal. Disposal number 26. And Harry Perryman joins the long scorers list.
It's a lot, isn't it?
For the GWS Giants.
And they spread it around. How many goal kickers is that now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 goal kickers.
56 points, 18-8, 116 West Coast, 9-660 on the Icon Services Solutions That Matter scoreboard. So quickly out of the middle, the Giants will be looking to go here and try and put on a bit more pressure.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. They'll really try and put the foot on the throat now. They sort of worked with it hard in the third quarter, did they? Everything was going pretty easily for them, and then all of a sudden, the third quarter was a bit of a scrap. Just got a feeling it might open up a bit this last quarter.
So Jamison and Flynn to go at it again. At the foot of that footy was Kelly, couldn't take it cleanly. Redden was able to extract it. Jones has provided the run from behind. Shuey away to Gaff, back to Shuey. The two experienced campaigners combined. Top of the square kick here. Down towards Darling will get it. Got underneath the footy. Sam Taylor attempting to spoil.
He used his body well there. Jack Darling. Sam Taylor's disappointed in himself, not getting a fist on that, but credit to the forward there. He's got the contact early, pushed him offline. Well, look, he gives him a little shove there. Yeah. Well, sometimes that can be paid a free, but I don't think it was. That's a goal.
So Darling will convert. No major angle to speak of there. Bread and butter stuff for Jack Darling. And what has been a tough day for the main Eagles forward with no Josh Kennedy. 10-6-66. It's the Giants 18-8, 116. We have still got about just under 16 minutes remaining on the Makita clock rule the outdoors.
Shuey's been good, hasn't he, today? He's tried really hard.
Can't fault that effort.
No. He's never fault his effort. Was he captain in the premiership team? Was he the captain that day?
No.
Oh, Shannon Hearn.
Shannon Hearn.
Of course. He won the Norm Smith, though.
Yeah, with the calf at the moment, Hearn. He did, Shuey. 2018. The years
it's not that
fly back quick.
It's not quick. That long ago.
No.
And we're now talking about him as the bottom team.
Yep.
Yes. I wonder how that can happen. 3 full seasons later.
Well, this is sort of unique circumstances, isn't it? I mean, well, certainly with the COVID situation, which was always going to get the West at some stage.
Here we go.
In the complete reverse. Sproul with an outside boot. How about that for a goal?
Jeez, that came from nowhere.
They worked it inside 50 really quickly. The Giants. Sproul was just nice and comfortable there to kick that on the outside of the boot. Once again, it was Flynn, Canelio. We've seen that pattern.
Yep.
They broke quickly out of the middle. And then Sproul just from a standing start.
Gee, they got it. There's 2 quick handballs and a snap goal. 3 quick handballs and a snap goal.
19-8-1-22, the Giants. The Eagles 10-6-66.
Tanner Bruin involved there as well, but Canelio at the coalface. He's just in and under. He's had a wonderful afternoon.
So we know for the Giants, I mean, Davis has been out for some time. Hopper not playing, who spoke to Crunch Time early today. No Lockie Whitfield, no Daniels, no Haynes. Daniel Lloyd's the other one who was a fairly regular starter. Flynn.
He's been good, Flynn.
His tap work's been very good. Sharked by Kelly. There he goes on that non-preferred right out towards half forward. Foot race here. Jones de Boer trying to push him off. And coming across the 2 bigger boys, Sproul and also Rotham. Off hands out of bounds, but the Giants get it to half forward for a boundary throw-in. Lions back in front down in Tassie. Seesawing game there. 9-8-62. Hawthorn 9-3-57 around the grounds for Kangan Institute. High tackle with some contact there on Tanner Brewer and little boot from Tim Kelly coming through on the way there.
I think it was an accident.
Yeah. So Bruin's free kick. What are his numbers? Is he very busy?
Let's kick that up the chimney.
High ball. Very, very high ball inside 50. Spoil from the Eagles. Jones at ground level. Nelson, Redden under the pump. Stolen away. Peatling with the right foot snap. He's got the accuracy. And Peatling kicks his 3rd of the day.
He's been terrific.
Little chaos ball inside 50. Deflected out into his direction. There's a beautiful right foot hook.
Liked his game. Couldn't just clear the initial contest there, the West Coast, and pressure came on because they were all there. Bees at a honeypot and around the corner. Good snap.
Yeah,
goal of the day, contended that one.
Redden stripped to the footy there by Toby Green on the Easy Debit replay. For simple payment solutions, you can join Easy Debit today. So
margin out to 62.
Peatling becomes their leading goal kicker with 3. Toby Green with a couple. Mac de Boer, Zach Sproul, Tanner Bruin, Tom Green, Jesse Hogan, all with 2 apiece. It's the sort of contribution you want as a coaching staff. He's Sproul. He's wrapped up in the tackle here by Gaff. Ball stops. 62 points the lead. 1 down by Williams. Bruin back after it again in the clinches. This ball trying to get out. And Bruin applies the tackle again. So good work in close. He's had to learn his craft. Of course, no Taranto in the team. Hopper, as we mentioned, 2 balls that... You go back 2 years ago when the Giants had all those injuries and they had to really stand up. Now it's the next lot of Giants midfielders who've got a real opportunity. Ball went inside 50 for the Eagles. Then a kick out of bounds on the full by Sam Taylor. So another chance here for the Eagles to try and get a scoring opportunity. And Clark will pump this one back inside 50. So he starts outside the boundary line.
He's going to go.
He's just going to go towards the top of the square here. One for the high flyers. Ward with a good spoil on Waterman. And the Giants do get it through for a rush behind.
He's conceded pretty quickly a couple of times, Harry Himmelberg. And he's not used to being that deep in defence.
No.
So we'll get it out of my way. Get it in that points. And you're allowed to do it, and that's what players should do more of, I think. Instead of trying to run it across the face of goals and inviting trouble. That's a poor kick.
Came out of his defensive goal square with no run around him and then kicked to a lot of traffic. Heatling was really good. Won that footy to Tanner Bruin. Has a bounce. Cutting back inside Brander. Comes centrally towards half forward. That's going to be intercepted by Duggan, who lays it off to Gaff. Have you seen his game, Pickers?
He's been quiet, I think. I mean, he's had 7. This will be 18th touch, but no real impact in the game at all. 5 kicks. That was his 6th kick.
Yep. Trying to get some miles back in the league, so...
Yeah, well, he's been out for a while, so you'd expect him to not come back and rip the game apart, but he's been pretty quiet. Sure, he's been the pick of the midfielders.
Ball in the hands of Darling. Inside 50 kick here. That's a good strong mark taken by Taylor. Oh, Sproul. I thought Taylor got...
Taylor took that, mate. And Sproul ended up
That's
with
what we thought, just to the naked eye. Little short ball to Ward. Ward will cut this one through true centre half back. It's a good ball.
50.
Should be 50. Harshly dealt with McGovern there on Brander. Unnecessarily took him to ground after he took the mark.
I must have known that was going to be paid. That was a silly free.
Third 50-metre penalty they conceded the Eagles this afternoon.
So he's going to bring him within distance now.
Brander will kick this one from pretty much right on the 50, just maybe a touch inside. So gets the gallop up now. Brander, he's put plenty behind it. It's just gone out to the left-hand side for a behind. That is on the Icon Services scoreboard. Solutions that matter. 20 goals, 9, 129 the Giants. The Eagles 10, 7, 67.
Fair to say the sting's gone out of the game, BP.
Fair to say. But I'll be happy, the Giants, but this has sort of been their year. They'd have one good win that doesn't get built upon.
Yeah, where do they go next week, the Giants? Let's have a little look. The Giants play the Lions at the Gabba Saturday afternoon. I'm not liking that for them.
No, we'll find out plenty about the Giants.
Especially if the Lions get rolled today.
Cut off by Perryman.
As it sits right now, they are trailing.
Heatling. What a game he's played. Leading goal kicker with 3. He's been everywhere. Back to Himmelberg.
Hawthorn by a point at half-time around the grounds.
Good contest.
Brander
chips it inside 50. It's a good ball. Jesse Hogan a nice lead. And Hogan to line up here.
A lot of uncontested marks inside the Giant forward line, though, isn't there? Just little lead-up, little chip-ups.
Yeah, been regular.
What about the design of the ball? It looks great, doesn't it? Indigenous design ball.
Yeah, it does. It's just a great part of the year. Indigenous round, so Dud Nichols round. They do it really, really well. Little right arc for Jesse. Puts plenty behind that footy. Trying to get a bit of left to right. Can't work its way back. 20 goals, 10, 130. 30 scoring shots to 17. The Eagles 10, 7, 67. 11 minutes to play. And McGovern will put it back into play. Coming out to take it on the chest. He hit right up here. Jack Darling to take the mark between half-back and wing. He's going to come right inboard. It's got to be absolutely spot on here. It did find Cripps. It was a risky 45 kick. Taken here by Shuey. Away to Williams. Loops a handball to Redden. There'll be one handball too many. Darling eventually finds Clark. He lowers the eyes. Nice kick to Jamison.
He's tried hard,
Marks
Jamison.
on the 50. I think it's been a good battle.
Yeah.
I mean, certainly the hit-outs have favoured Flynn.
Oh, I think Flynn's on top in the battle, but, I mean, I just like the way he's continued to at least press forward. He's tried very hard this afternoon. Kellen Jamison.
10 disposals, 9 of those have been contested, so he's been right in the thick of it. Jefferson's just going to pop this one up towards the hot spot. Darling had a run at it. Dixon trying to get the crumb. Taylor wraps him up in the tackle. Ball stops 25 metres out from the West Coast goal. One down by Williams. Lots of players with their head over the footy here. O'Halloran, Iden, Dixon trying to create something. Little soccer. There's, I think, shaved a bit of the post on the way through. There from Hugh Dixon for a behind. 10-8-68, 20-10, 130. Giants leading it by 62.
It's a poor kick in. Straight to Dixon.
A terrible kick going up the middle from Cumming.
Cumming, what was he thinking? He's kicked that 15 metres straight in the middle of the goals, straight to the West Coast player. Huey Dixon should kick your second.
He should. Let's not pump it up too much.
Yeah, every time we've done it, they've kicked the point.
It's been the curse.
We should kick this. 30 metres.
Come on, Hugh. Don't let us down. Don't let us down, Hugh. The connection's
never in doubt.
Never in doubt. Snuck it into the right goalpost. Couple for big Hugh Dixon. 11 goals for the Eagles.
It hung in, just hung in there.
11-8-74, 20-10, 130 for the Giants.
It was on the back of it. It was Himmelberg that kicked it in. No, it wasn't.
No, they're showing something from earlier. They're showing the barrel.
No, it was coming, definitely for coming. Big Hugh's got 2.
What's going on there?
So they got Cripps 2, Dixon 2, and Winder 2 for the West Coast. To cast 1,000 on the other side, unfortunately, for the West Coast Eagles fans. 3 to Peatling, 2 to Tom Green, 2 to Toby Green. Tanner Bruin's got a couple, Hogan's got a couple, Sproul's got a couple. They've shared the love today, the Giants. They're going to be pretty impressive winners in this match.
So ball to be put down in the middle. Flynn won the tap. Redden, Jamison, he's taken down the tackle there by Bruin, who's really tough and physical around the footy. West, a nice little sidestep, loops the handball over the top. Cripps knew he had to get rid of it quickly. It missed Tim Kelly on the way through, but Kelly might get another opportunity, just couldn't quite take it cleanly. All really bobbling around here at half-back. Eventually the Giants do clear. Hogan contested in the air.
Oh, well done, Bobby Hill.
What a pick-up from Bobby, who laid off the handball to Toby Green. He saw the man at the corner of his eye. The fumble from Riccardi, who would have been heading towards goal, and the cavalry arrives for the Eagles. McGovern chips it to Tim Kelly.
He only had to mark that ball, and they had 2-on-1 basically in the goal square.
Kelly laid it off to Witherden.
Fumbled the chest mark. Wasted an opportunity.
Back to Harry Edwards, who chips it back to Witherden. So just waxing here between halfback and wing. The Eagles 11-8-74, Giants 20-10, 130. So the Giants will like the 20 goals. It probably says where they're at, and the fact that they've conceded 11-8 at the other end. I mean, there's two ways of looking at that, I suppose. I mean, it's been the year they've had, hasn't it? They're far cry from what they were, the Giants, and they've got a few players out. So
they've never been a powerfully scoring side. And again, that's why a percentage of 78 tells you that, I guess.
Yep. Canelio.
It's been a good workmanlike performance against an undermanned opposition, it must be said. But let's not forget that the Giants have got a heap of players out themselves.
Yeah.
Like high-quality players too.
Canelio, we just mentioned, he got that kick towards half-back. His numbers again for safety steal shed. So Canelio is up to 33. Perryman's had the 29. Kelly with the 23. The 3 major ball winners this afternoon. On hands and knees, Perryman away to Flynn. Little kick up the line here. Mark will be taken by Canelio. He's everywhere. Half time down in Tassie. It is a 1-point ball game. 10-3-63 Hawthorn. Brisbane 9-8-62. With the long change. Nice little hit up to Toby Green. He wants to get things moving quickly. He's going to come into the corridor. It's going to be spot on the kick here. It is to Josh Kelly. They changed the angle nicely. Gave it to the run of Kennedy. Kennedy will kick this one towards half forward, towards Cumming. Little hand in there from Harry Edwards. Spilled out to Iden. smothered there by Nelson off the boot of Cumming. And Nelson and Bobby Hill just had a little how do you do inside the boundary line. Ball to be tossed back into play. Luke Shuey has been subbed out here. Now that I'll try and get some clarification on that, but young Brady Hoff comes into the action wearing the number 19. His fourth game of footy from Harvey. Where is Harvey over in WA?
Yeah, it's a country town in WA where Derek Hall's from.
Oh, the former Cat.
Yeah, the former Cat.
Oh, there he goes, a blast from the past.
Yeah, he's a Harvey boy.
High ball towards half forward here for the Eagles. Kelly will cut it off. Coming. Nice little give by hand. Slung in the tackle though, Taylor, because he was surrounded by Eagles when he took that handball. Off hands out of bounds.
That's a free kick that Jack Darling. You held on a bit long. Giants fans aren't happy.
It's against young Ware. He
showed a bit.
I liked his debut. Kicked a great goal. A little bit of polish with the left. Good footy smarts as Darling kicks this one towards half forward. He was looking there for Hoff. Bruin got a nice little hand in there. He's been terrific when the ball's been in his area. Ware's had to wear some contact here as he took hold of that footy that was flying through by hand, and ball stops. Under 6 minutes remaining. Ball put down again. Here's Kelly. Rolls one up the wing. Peatling kept it in. Nice little give to De Boer. Back to Peatling. Peatling, a nice little chip to half forward to Toby Green. And Toby will chip this over the top. Riccardi got the hands up. And took that high ball nicely, and he's on a tough angle. He can certainly bend this around on his right, Jake Riccardi.
Yeah, I think this is very gettable. The way the players snap goals now. This is about the right distance you want to be when you're having a snap.
Couple of steps out to the right, Riccardi.
Just the other side.
To the right. 2011, 131 to West Coast 11.874, and that is on the Icon Services Solutions That Matter scoreboard. As Witherden comes out of his defensive goal square. Works one outside defensive 50. Flynn.
Big Matty Flynn, who's had a good game.
Swept him beautifully to take the mark. And Flynn to pump it not quite inside. He's just lowered the eyes. Toby Green's caught some contact there from Witherden.
That's what you call making a player earn it. He really crashed bodies with him then. Toby won't be happy with that, I wouldn't think.
And Toby will just chip it in short to Josh Kelly. So they're still just outside attacking 50.
Get the numbers back for West Coast. Just guarding space for the long kick.
And Kelly's going to hit the top of the square with the kick here. It wasn't quite to the advantage, though, of the forwards. Harry Edwards will get it through for a rush behind.
Not a lot of percentage there, though, is it really? You get so many players back.
So we count down here inside the last 4 minutes almost. Brett Phillips and Liam Pickering. Giant Stadium today, where they got off to a 4-goal-to-zip start. The Eagles kicked the next 3 and then were sort of around the mark heading towards quarter time. They weren't too far away, but then it really opened up. 53-point lead at halftime, a 50-point lead at three-quarter time for the Giants. Right now they lead it by 58. So they haven't totally got away and really blown it open. The Eagles trying to hit the scoreboard. There's certainly, for where they're at and who's missing, they haven't done too bad a job, but haven't been able to make the inroads, certainly from that second quarter. Nice mark taken here by Waterman at half forward. We kicked a goal on the other side of the ground from about this sort of area. And he kicked it sweetly. He was on a good side, though, for a right footer. He starts outside the boundary line. He'll move just inside. Hemmed in close to the boundary line here. Jake Waterman, he's got a pretty good connection. He has just snuck it in. So he's kicked 2 from a couple of tight angles. The man wearing the number 2, Guernsey. They pull another one back here, the Eagles. 12-8-80. The Giants, 20-12-132.
There's another great goal, wasn't it? On the boundary line. went back and never looked like missing. He's kicked 2 really impressive goals.
Just over 3 minutes to play. So had the 7 disposals, Waterman, taken the 5 marks, kicked the 2 goals this afternoon. Hawks by 1 point over Brisbane at half-time, just repeating that score down in Tassie. Back in the middle we go. Jamieson and Flynn to resume their battle. Flynn another tap. Coming through Josh Kelly. Tries to palm it in the direction of Cornelio. Jamieson got a little deflection to Clark. Hoff. Oh, short ball. It's a nice ball too to Waterman, who's on the ragey lead. Inside 50 with a kick is a beauty. Full stretch for Darling in front of Taylor. Probably the best ball movement we've seen from the Eagles.
It was.
All day. And Jack Darling on a 45-degree angle. About 40-45 from home.
Yeah, Brady Hoff getting into the game. Nice little chip-up pass to Waterman. And another lovely kick. Jack Darling hasn't had many opportunities this afternoon. We better start thinking about these awards too.
Yeah, clock ticking.
Clock is ticking. It's been a long game.
Thank you. Here's Darling. Gets the gallop up now. Across the face of goal. The kick goes.
Just poked at that, didn't he?
And mark taken by, guess who? The everywhere man today. Flynn. And takes it in the back pocket. And he's going to come right across his defensive goal. His kick would want to be absolutely spot on. He's put it to a 50-50 here. But Josh Kelly will get the ground level ball from the spill. And Kelly will find the target in Peatling. What a game he has had. He's got to factor into the votes, I would suggest, with the 3 goals and a nice load of possessions for Peatling, who's had the 22 and kicked 3. Ward with ball in hand in the middle of the ground. Inside 50 kick. Fished in from Witherden. Ball escapes over the back. Hill looking for the crumb. Barras. Duggan. Rotham under pressure because Bobby was hunting him down. And he's rewarded.
Got the free. He's worked hard, Bobby Hill, today.
So a huge moment in Indigenous round. He brought his young bub out through the banner earlier today. And it'd be a nice way to finish for him to kick possibly the last goal of the match. Bobby Hill, who'll take a step or two and has become the norm for a lot of players. Hook this across the body. Bobby! And he celebrates in style. An Indigenous round.
Yeah, he's hit the scoreboard, which is even better. Late in the game, 35 seconds left. I'm going to rip into these awards too. I better get my votes.
We do. Fremantle and Collingwood coming up very, very soon. So the last right's coming up here at Giant Stadium before we get into our post-match. Stick around on AFL Nation. Whatever game you're taking in this afternoon. Freo and Collingwood to come, and of course a big second half between Hawthorn and Brisbane. Only a point separating those two teams. The long change. And right now it's a 58-point lead for the GWS Giants. We're about to get into our post-game show for Thirsty Camel Bottle Shops. Answer the Camel's call. Who have been the best of the young guys? MEGT Rookie of the Day, your local apprenticeship experts. Pickers?
Peatling for me. 3 goals and been really impressive today. I've liked his game.
Been very, very good. Out of the middle go the Eagles. Clock ticking. There's a whistle here. And it will come back to the Eagles in the middle of the ground. MEGT supporting employers and apprentices for over 40 years. So the player power rankings for Red Energy, owned by Snowy Hydro, a renewable energy leader. Josh Kelly 124, Cornelio 123. As the Eagles go inside 50, Peatling's at 119, Perryman's at 114, Flynn is at 104. So it looks like the last kick after the siren will go to Winder, who's just taken some high contact. Hanger of the day, hangmytv.com.au, because that's what they do.
Jake Riccardi took a belter in the first quarter.
Yep. So Winder will have a shot after the siren to try and kick the Eagles' 13th goal. What about the tackler of the game for Toro? Canon Toro to get the job done.
Josh Kelly's had 9 tackles today. He's been terrific.
Been superb. Truckload of possessions. Winder. Nice goal.
Hit 3.
3 for the young man with a bit of promise. But the Giants win it. 21-12, 138 to the Eagles. 13-8-86. So just the third time we've heard that song in 2022, but it'll be music to the ears of Mark McVeigh, the caretaker coach, who's 1-0 today. Peatling kicked 3, Toby Green, Jesse Hogan, Matt DeBoer, Zach Sproul, Tanner Bruin, Tom Green, all kicked 2, Riccardi, Brander, Bobby Hill and Young Ware on debut, all kicked singles. It was Winder with 3 for the Eagles, Dixon kicked 2, Waterman kicked 2 along with Cripps, Shuey, Duggan, Darling and also Clark all kicked a goal apiece. We're about to take you to Fremantle Collingwood very, very soon. Well, Spike in his first game. We've got to give him the coach of the day for TC boxes, home for trays, canopies and toolboxes. What about the goal of the game for Host Plus, an industry super fund for all Australians?
Well, I like Winder's snap. He rove the pack and snapped it across his shoulder. I thought it was in the third quarter belter.
Great goal. Unmissable moments for Drinkwise. Choose to drink wise. You won't miss a moment if you drink wise.
I like those 2 goals from Jake Waterman, just to show how perfect straight drop punts look. You don't always have to do the ones around the corner. Just go back and just never look like missing from the boundary line, both of them.
Yeah, the first one in particular, that was sensational. As soon as it left the boot, it just connected absolutely superbly. We'll give you a ladder update in just a moment, but Pickers has got some votes, a 1, 2 and a 3 for the AFL Nation Player of the Year for Henley Homes. Stage 4 house and land packages are now selling at the Dales. Bonnybrook, and also you can find all the news at henley.com.au.
I've given 1 vote to Harry Perryman. I think that's as good a game as I've seen him play ever. He was really good today, 30 disposals, really impressive today. 2 votes to Peatling. I thought he was great. 23 disposals and a goal. Perryman had 30 touches, by the way. And Steve Cornelio, that's his best game for a very, very long time. 36 disposals, but real efficiency today. And really got in and under when the game was there to be won. I thought he was one of the major players.
So 1 to Perryman, 2 to Peatling, and
3 to Cornelio.
3 to Cornelio with the 36 disposals. Perryman with 30. Kelly had the 29. Peatling 23 and hit the scoreboard with 3.
Flynn was good.
Looked classy, yeah. Flynn,
unlucky
special mention.
Yeah, unlucky.
41 hit-outs, 18 disposals. He was the
close.
everywhere man today.
Yeah, he would have taken the 1 vote, but I decided to go with Perryman, who I thought was really impressive today.
What a quick word on the Eagles. A tough year.
Just a tough year continues. They're undermanned. They've got a lot of good players not playing, and they're trying hard, but they're a long way off it, aren't they?
They are, and they're back home next week, the West Coast Eagles, which will be just confirming their matchup for round number 11. They've got the Bulldogs at Optus Stadium, which will be, I think, next Saturday night. And the Dogs will be looking to really get on the march now with a couple of back-to-back wins and try and make that 3 before the bye. Our post-game show for Thirsty Camel Bottle Shops. Answer the Camel's call at Thirsty Camel Bottle Shops. Let's give you a quick ladder for 40 winks. Prioritise your sleep with 40 winks. Serious about sleep. Melbourne, of course, just going beautifully. 40 points. Brisbane, this is a huge second half for Brisbane. 32. Carlton 32. Fremantle 28. St Kilda on 28. Geelong 24. Sydney and Richmond also on 24, making up the top 8. The Bulldogs are a game out, then a game behind Port Adelaide. Collingwood can climb to 10th. The Gold Coast on 16. Hawthorn can climb up if they can have a big second half and